Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Salute, salute, salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. We are back. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. Salutes as always. We won't be here for a long time, but we will be here for a strong time. Tonight's topic: Armageddon, the battle for the hearts of men. I know a lot of people, when they think about Armageddon and the battle of Armageddon, you think about this apocalyptic time on the earth. You think about this apocalyptic battle between good and evil, angels and demons, this apocalyptic time where there is catastrophic things happening on the earth. A lot of people didn't imagine or would never imagine in a million years that Armageddon is actually already happening. It's been fixed up to look pretty before the eyes of the people. These transformations that are happening on the earth, Armageddon is a transformation from the natural order of things. This is happening on a mental level, a spiritual level, and a physical level. We have Armageddon taking place right in front of us, and a lot of people don't even know it. We have a battle of the mind taking place in politics. We have a battle of the heart taking place, the body taking place with our social statuses, with our choices that we're able to make, and with this thing called free will. And we have the battle of the soul taking place when it comes down to religion. Even the great falling away of the church is taking place right now. See, the church don't realize that they're being tricked. The church is being tricked into participating in nationalism, which is one of the biggest forces that's being used for the battle of Armageddon. Yes, the Christian church. Yes, nationalism. The powers that be. The government and the powers that be are our biggest opposers when it comes down to the battle of Armageddon. Our people were being tricked into thinking that they're making decisions that will better their life, their physical life here on earth. But these decisions that are being made are only empowering the beast. These political stances that our people are being tricked into taking because they want to have the best possible physical life that they can have on this earth. Well, you are being tricked and you are being deceived. The way that you're being deceived is because you don't believe that you can be deceived, but you're being deceived. You're being deceived by transformation. Think about your body and your soul as a car or a vehicle, right? Think about a brand new Camry that comes to this earth. You come to this earth as a brand new car. Nothing's wrong with this car. This is why they say when you're born into a world of sin, you come in and your body is a vehicle. Your body is a car. And this is a pathway. We're traveling through this pathway, right? One of the tricks and one of the war tactics in the battle of Armageddon is to get you to transform away from the natural order of things. See, you got a brand new car, it's fully capable of getting you along your path, but this car needs to be recognized. This car won't be able to be recognized if you put some big wheels on it, if you tint your windows or you put another paint job on it. This is the war of Armageddon. This is the transformation. They're tricking people with free will. They're tricking people with religious doctrines. They're tricking people with political mindsets and political views. Okay? The transformation of the spirit. We're supposed to be taking upon, they got people arguing about whether a man named Christ lived 2,000 years ago. And that's the biggest trick of all, because we're supposed to be acquiring a Christ consciousness to be able to fight against these times right now that we're talking about. Because the people that we're up against, they want to trap us inside of this simulation. They actually want to destroy this simulation and trap us inside of their beast computer. This is the whole point of them making a beast computer. They want to trap our light. They want to trap your light force because they can't survive without our life force. They don't have an inner life force, so they need our life force to survive. So they want to trap us inside of their beast computer. This would be a whole new world. So what they're doing with their hadron colliders is they're manipulating the D stream that we're attached through to the source because we have souls. They're manipulating this thing to cause us to fall into alternate realities that will change our what? Our DNA, our mental DNA, our physical DNA, our spiritual DNA. That was one of the reasons that they brought forth the jab upon us. This is what this is all about, to change the DNA, to put forth a transformation upon the people so that they can put you in their jersey, put you on their side of the field. So you won't be able to be recognized by nature. See, when this cyclation comes around to where nothing will be able to stand on this earth but what's compatible with the earth, you will already have traded in your jersey by default. By taking sides. They said the mark of the beast will be in the hand or the head, where it comes mentally, physically, and spiritually. So when the mark of the beast will be in your hand, it'll be by things that you do. It'll also be in your phone. It'll also be in your credit cards. It'll be a chip. It'll also eventually be in your hand. It'll be an idea inside of your head. You picking one of the wings on this bird, left wing, right wing. You with your religious doctrines, these false prophet religious doctrines that is being pushed upon the people. All these things are here to help the powers that be win this war of Armageddon. Okay? These people cannot leave here. These people are trapped here. After death, we have a soul. Our soul will ascend out of here. This is a gift for us. This is damnation for them. They're stuck here for eternity. But after we die, we're able to go back to the source. This is a choice for us. But by us allowing them to steal our life force, we're born into what? A world of sin, synthetic shit. So we are born into this synthetic world and we buy into it as soon as we are born into this world. As a matter of fact, we've been hijacked already. Our minds been hijacked. So our parents and the people before us already sell us into this slavery as soon as we were born. So we were born into these ideologies of the ways of the people who are running the world. This is what's dim in our light. Our lights gets dimmed because we take part in the ways of the world. They say be in the world and not of the world. See, we read these scriptures and they're given to us in such a kindergarten form that we can't even recognize that when we're going through these things, as we read them, to go back to the wilderness in a time like right now, when we're experiencing all of this technology, to go back to the wilderness would be us going back to a more old-fashioned way of living, a more compatible with nature way of living. But see, we are advancing with technology. We're not understanding that this technology is coming from these spirits of old. They're bringing forth this technology to fulfill their destiny of the full manifestation of the beast system. So the beast is ruling. The beast is a computer. AI is nothing new. When you think about the jab, right? When you think about the C19, what does 19 mean? 1 is A, 9 is I. It's not but one agenda, people. There's only been one agenda. We get sidetracked with all of these different prophecies that they've laid before us. They told us that there will be a rapture. So many people sold their belongings. So many people gave away so many things, looking for the promise of a rapture. And we're not able to see, to have the eyes to see or the ears to hear what's actually taking place here. And see, these spirits of old are bringing forth this technology. These spirits of old have been held captive until what they call the end of days. Not the end of days like the end of days like it's over with, but the end, toward the end of days. See, those who have an ear can hear. That's why we accumulated so much technology in a shorter period of time. They're collecting dark matter with the CERN machine. They're able to pull dark matter from the other side. They're pulling this dark matter through, and they're pulling, because in the beginning, the world was filled with darkness and void. Well, think about darkness as a thing, not just void of light. There's darkness on the earth right now. Darkness is evil. Evil things are taking place on the earth right now. There's darkness on the earth right now. So these spirits of old who are able to resurrect themselves and who are being conjured up by spiritualists, who are being deceived into spiritual practices, and they're taking part in what's called divination practices because they're looking for a cheat code. They trying to find a way out, or they trying to find a spiritual system that will progress them out of the current situation. But in actuality, they're getting small gifts, but they're giving permission to these spirits of old. You got to pay the toll. You got to pay to play. So by default, we're giving permission to these spirits of old. And there's so many so-called witches. There's so many so-called warlocks. And there's so many so-called spiritualists, right, who are taking part in divination practices and divination techniques. This is the bridge or the channel for these spirits of old to have their connection to be able to enter the earth at this time. See, all of these wars that were being fought over this time, they were telling you that they were going over and they were finding resources. All of these countries that they were fighting, they've been fighting these countries for gold. They've been fighting these countries for oil. They've been fighting these countries for lithium. Matter of fact, they used a lot of these resources to make cell phones with. A lot of this gold, lithium, a lot of these precious stones was being used for energy conductor for the CERN machine. They're building these machines so they can give power to the beast, so that they can cross over what's called dark matter. That is these spirits of old, so that they can reign here on earth, right? And a lot of our people are being sold on this and not really understanding that they're being deceived, right? That's why we're seeing such an advancement in technology, but the technology is only here for one agenda. We get so hyped about the new iPhone 17. We ready to see a car that'll fly. You know, we think they're advancing technology for us to live a better life. They're advancing technology for them to have more of an advantage on us. This is a war for your soul. That's the most valuable motherfucking thing on this planet. They don't care about anything else. They want your soul, buddy. See, we have to give to be able to return to the source. Our soul goes on a journey after death. These people are bound and trapped here. So in all actuality, this biblical story that we're being sold is being told in a blasphemous way. It's being told in a way where we are not able to see clear what's really taking place here. It's real. They just giving you the story wrong. The people ain't real. So once we see that the people not real, we throw everything away with it. The people ain't real. No. Why would I argue with somebody about a man who's supposed to have been alive 2,000 years ago when I wasn't alive 2,000 years ago? You wasn't alive 2,000 years ago, and neither one of us know anybody who was alive 2,000 years ago. That's part of the trick. Because if I don't take upon Christ consciousness, well, what is Christ consciousness, Keith? Christ consciousness is just me having a full illuminated head of light, me being fully aware. They've shown with medical studies, when you don't have a full head of illuminated light, when you don't have a full light pattern on your neuropathy in your neuro chart, right? When they pull up your neural path on the screen, when the light in your head doesn't have a full path on it, that's when they show that you have neurological issues. Okay? Cancer in the brain, dementia, and shit like that. This is tangible things, people. The elementary story that they've given us, of the biblical story that they've given us, will make you want to run away from this shit so fast, but then you're going to miss it. And by default, you lose the fucking game. So many of our people are being tricked. Like I was talking about these so-called spiritualists. These spiritual practices. A lot of people will say, well, I ain't like the Christians. I ain't religious. I'm spiritual. So now by default, you giving your fucking energy and your power to some shit that you don't know nothing about because they done tricked you and you worse off than a Christian. You fucking with the opposing people. It's like a Christian. Also, it's contradictory. Any Christian who is talking about they voted for either the left or the right wing, Democrat or Republican, can't be a fucking Christian. Or is a Christian not what they say a Christian is supposed to be? Besides any religious group, besides any religious doctrine, I'm telling you to be compatible with what's natural. Be information with your information and be compatible with nature. You perfect when you come into this motherfucking world as a baby. But then we start to learn things. We start to get indoctrinated. We go through their school system. Their spool system is a thread, a spool of thread that's wrapping us up into a motherfucking cocoon so that they can produce a butterfly for the system. That's what makes us not perfect. That's what dims our light. That's what this is all about. And the way we're being tricked with free will. There's a social status now that's been introduced upon the world. There's an algorithm. The algorithm is a horror song. The basic meaning of the algorithm is of the horror song. Rhythm, song, gore, horror. Al of. So we're following the algorithm to have good standing for what? A social status inside of a social system. This is spiritual warfare. That's why we got so many children, so many men, and so many women degrading them fucking selves just to be accepted on social media. Degrading them fucking selves for the bag. You gotta be a stupid motherfucker to be rich today. You gotta be a freaky ass nigga to be rich today. You gotta be a freaky ass woman to be rich today. To get rich quick off of social media, they want you on demon time. There's no way to be accepted for natural shit. This is also a tactic. This is also a part of the beast's plan to trick us up. Okay? And we got to be aware of this shit. We got to be able to see. We got to have eyes to see and an ear to hear. So when we're explaining this shit, we got to be able to compare these things to actual times and events was taking place so that we can be able to be aware of these things. Now, I do want to play a little bit of something because I want to show you what the common concept of what Armageddon is, and then I'm going to continue. Salutes to everybody. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. I'm going to play a little bit of this, and then we'll get right back to it.
A great battle is coming, and it's called Armageddon. It will impact every person on the face of the earth. No one will escape. The world will be divided into two opposing forces, and both will come head to head.
Oh, sorry about that.
Two opposing forces, and both will come head to head in this showdown. It will be the greatest battle ever fought, but the outcome will be totally unexpected. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dustin with Hope Through Prophecy, the channel that helps you better understand Bible prophecy and be prepared for the soon return of Jesus. Make sure to subscribe and turn on all.
And see, this is what I mean. I'm going to be stopping this through. So when they're telling you the return of Jesus, and when they're telling you, you know, the rapture and all of these type of things, this is going to throw you off every time. Hell, it's going to throw me off every time, because why should I wait for someone when I need to be activating my Christ consciousness? We got to get away from a physical figure. We got to get away from that Caesar Bourget. So when I say Christ consciousness from now on, I'm just going to say common motherfucking sense. Right? Common sense. You know better. Shit leading to a slippery slope. Because there's a lot of things, man. I'm going to continue to play the video, but there are a lot of simple things that's getting us on this fucked up path. Even when it comes to, like I said, the free will thing. You know, we make decisions. We make sexual decisions. We make decisions on certain things like tattoos. You get a tattoo, you get some shit on your body, then psychologically you got to live up to the shit that you got on your body. You brand it. See, there is a psychological essence to this shit. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna play a little bit more of this video. I'm just playing this because this is the common conception of Armageddon. And I do want to play a little bit of this because I know I'm explaining this in a whole new way. And I'm doing that for a reason, man, so that we can be able to see more clearly. Salutes to everybody. I'm going to ask that y'all hit the like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. Thank you, guys. So let's get back to the video.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on all bell notifications so you don't miss anything.
Fuck that, man. Get to the shit. Let's go.
To most people, the word Armageddon means disaster, destruction, and the end of the world. But to those who understand the Bible, Armageddon is not the apocalyptic end of humanity, but it is something much more exciting. Instead of being a disaster, it's a rescue mission. So what is Armageddon anyway? This term actually originates from the Bible. The last book of the Bible, Revelation, records 7 last plagues.
It's not a rescue mission for us. It can be looked at both ways. If we don't stop being in alignment with the beast system, with technology, then it's going to be a devastation for us. We don't want our fucking souls trapped inside of the CERN machine and the beast computer because your grandma, because her legs ain't working, and they tricking her to say, well, if you let us plug this into your brain, you'll be able to walk again, grandma. She want to hold her grandbabies and run around and play with them. These are the tricks and the deception that these motherfucking people are using, man. Let's get to it. So that can be looked at both ways. I will be stopping it, commenting throughout the video.
That will fall upon the earth at the very end of the world, just before Jesus comes to rescue his people. The Armageddon comes up in the 6th plague. Then the 6th angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up.
And if you waiting on Jesus to return, that may cause you not to start using your motherfucking mind and being compatible with nature and using your common sense. Christ consciousness, the return of the light body, the resurrection of the light body. You need to balance out mind, body, soul. This is World War III. Mind, body, soul. The war on the mind, the war on the body, the war on the soul. This is World War III. This shit taking place right now. This is what New World Order all about.
So that the way of the kings from the east might be prepared. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of demons, performing signs, which go out to the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. And they gathered them together to the place called in Hebrew Armageddon.
3 reasons why you should come with us to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
And so I'm just going to take over on this right here. I was going to play this, but what it's doing is we ain't got time for all that right now. I get it, but I ain't taking it. Okay? I'm going to read this right here, right? The most common conception of Armageddon. In the Bible, Armageddon refers to a symbolic final battle between good and evil, mentioned in the book of Revelation, derived from the Mount of Megiddo in Hebrew. It represents a prophesied gathering of armies for a conflict that will take place on the great day of God Almighty. While it has a literal geographical basis in the ancient city of Megiddo in Israel, it is widely interpreted as a symbolic spiritual battleground rather than a specific literal geographical location. Okay? Their prophecy is their planning. Their prophecy is their planning. While they're selling you a biblical narrative, while most believe that, you know, they're trying to get to heaven. If we are not, they've already told you, it's in the Bible. If you look up Revelations 13, they're telling you that Jesus will be returning, Christ will be returning to earth to create a new heaven and a new on earth. See, while they got us, it's just like a lot of our black people were, or so-called black, or whatever you want to call it. We don't have time for the antic shit right now. We're running out of time. So a lot of the black people were so, hey, ain't you tired of the crime in your city? Yeah, I'm tired of the crime in my city. Okay, let's send them troops in to clean it up. But what y'all didn't realize was they thinking that when the troops come in to clean this shit up, that they gonna clean it up, it's gonna be over with, and then they finna go back to normal life. Fuck no. Fuck no. When they come, they ain't leaving. When they come, that's gonna be the start of a whole new world on your motherfucking ass. See? They getting you to agree to this shit. They tricking you. Man, it's so been better, but all in all, they're doing this so they can start to police everyone. Once they're able to police everyone, then that's going to make it easier for them to make everything digital. They only here for your light. They only here to plug you up to the machine, to the beast, so they can control your life. If they kill you, that ain't gonna be nothing. That ain't gonna be good enough for them. Because if you expire, your light goes back to the source. But if they can trap your light in a jar like a light bulb, then they can conceal your light. Then they have possession of your soul. That is what this shit is all about. Nothing else matters. This is a battle for souls. for the souls of men. They don't want you expiring. They don't want you to die. They don't want your soul returning back to the source. And you just keep coming back down to the earth. That's played out. They're now advancing by the resurrection of these spirits of old who are bringing back this ancient technology to the earth, and we're suffering from amnesia. We acting like we ain't never seen this shit before because we mesmerized. We're helping them bring forth an augmented reality. What is this augmented reality doing? It's taking us further and further away from being compatible with what's natural. Because this earth recycles itself. They have to flee this earth because the cycle is coming to where a point is going to get to a point, all that's not compatible with this earth won't be able to survive. So they found them a way out, the metaverse. The metaverse. And they're tricking you through your choice of free will. You niggas already used to want to look like Bart Simpson. You niggas already used to want to look like a fucking bullfrog. Tattoos all over your body, big ass lips, big ass teeth, split in your tongue, extra long ass earlobe, skin looking like a snake. So when you get inside of the computer, you're going to be used to sitting there being next to a nigga who look like a creature when you get in the metaverse. See the point of augmented reality? This shit is deeper than what you think it is. This shit is way deeper than what you think it is. Right? They collecting this dark matter and they're alternating reality. They're changing reality and then getting you to change your DNA. They're changing the DNA of the mind. They're changing the DNA of the body, and they're changing the DNA of the soul. How are they changing the DNA of the mind? Through political views. How are they changing the DNA of the body? Through your choice of free will and your choice of your social choices for you to take your social stand. You're going to do what everybody else do. Everybody else got a body full of tattoos. You can get a body full of tattoos. Everybody else got earrings and shit all in them. You're going to get earrings and shit all in you. It's the norm. It's what everybody do. You following the algorithm. Right? And this is where the metaverse, and the digital ID takes place. See, now, we're already in the metaverse. They already have a digital ID of us, but we don't have digital IDs. So once we get the digital ID implemented, because we have to okay this shit. So once we okay this shit, see, now it's going to be on a whole new level. China's experiencing this shit right now. Everyone is under surveillance. We're all under surveillance already. They have been testing this shit out. That's why every time you're having a conversation with someone, You think ain't nobody listening. And then as soon as you get by yourself and you jump on your phone and start scrolling, all the shit you and the person you was just talking to start popping up on your phone. Soon as you start watching TV, all the shit that you was just talking about starts popping up on your TV. You're not alone. What do you think a smart TV is? What do you think a smartphone is? You don't know what the difference between a smartphone and a smart TV was? I'm going to give you a hint. That motherfucker wasn't watching everything you do and copying that shit. We so infatuated with shit. We won't stop participating. Everyone's infatuated with AI. AI ain't doing nothing but just studying your motherfucking ass to be able to turn around and use that shit against you. You're going to get all the help you can until it get to the point to where this motherfucker want to take you out. Until you not useful no more. This is the war of Armageddon. This is the last civil war. And see, you would think that the civil war would be the people against the establishment. It's the people who are against the people whose ideas are against the establishment. Trump already set this shit in play. If you even go against what I'm thinking, your ass will be in violation. The people gonna fight the fight for them. We saw that when they stormed the Capitol. They're playing all this shit out right in front of us. See, we got fake and fake fucked up. Yeah, the shit is fake that's happening, but you think just because it's fake what's happening, that don't mean the shit ain't real. You don't get it. You're missing the fucking point. The world is a stage. Everything you see shall be. But the poor righteous teacher can't get no support to be able to warn the people. So the people get left to fend on their own once they take the poor righteous teacher out, or the motherfucker who's trying to warn the people, hey, I figured this out. This ain't what's going on. Yeah, these situations are fake, but we have to decode these situations so that we can be able to pay attention and watch for the hook. The war is between those people who are behind Trump. Look at all these. Look at all the people who was behind Charlie Kirk. Look at all the shit that took place if you even spoke out against Charlie Kirk. It's a war, people. On where? Social fucking media. And they're allowing this because things are going to go digital if we allow it, if we keep participating. That's why I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck who it is. Ain't no conscious motherfucker talking about supporting no fucking president. Period. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's my daddy. I don't care if it's my mama. Ain't no conscious motherfucker talking about supporting no government because the government is want to digitalize your motherfucking ass. They gonna make a Simpsons character out your motherfucking ass. And if you don't understand that, you don't understand shit. If you can't see the end game, you don't need to be talking. You need to fall back and play your position if you don't have eyes to see and if you don't have ears to hear, because this shit is serious, man. This ain't no play. So we're accepting ideologies. People are choosing their sides, even with the political stances and shit, to claim their social state or social status. So now all of your credentials and shit really gonna be thrown out the door. It's really gonna be up to, okay, what is this person, a conservative, or your religious status and your political status and your criminal status. So even if you got like prior criminal history, or even if you're a person who speaks out against the system, Trump already told you that if you speak out against the system, then you're definitely a target. Anyone. He started to fire those who were speaking out against his political stances. So if you speak out against Trump or his policies, then you're a target. Okay? So the social state of the social status is being put into place already. And this is before the digital ID. So once they put the digital ID on you, all this has to do with Armageddon. Once they put the digital ID on you, now you're going to have an easy pass on your ass. Now, when you go by every block, everywhere, they're going to use, hey, we're going to make everything safer. We're going to be able to catch criminals. If he a PDF file and he by a kid's school, we're going to get an alert. And see what they doing right now with these ICE agents and these and shit. If you've been watching, paying attention to the news the last few days, they've been telling you they have been harassing American citizens. You should have knew the war was against American citizens when the pandemic took place. It's been a war on your ass ever since the pandemic took place. You know how you know? Google this. Look this up. I ain't never been to the military, but I got plenty of people. All my military people know what I'm about to say. What is the target of contact? What is the threat? Anyone who's been in the military knows that whatever is quarantined is the threat. You quarantine the threat. Nothing more, nothing less. 100% every single time the threat is quarantined. So when they quarantine Americans were the threat. You were a threat until your ass was digitalized. Yes, there was nanotechnology. I'm gonna come out and say it on over here. There was nanotechnology in the Jizz. So until they was able to take their first step to digitalize your motherfucking ass, you were a threat. And they implemented the 6 degrees of separation. I've talked about this before. I've talked about what the 6 degrees of separation were. us as natural people, we had a natural 6 degrees of separation that separated us from those who are in power right now. 1, tell 2, and from 2, 3, no, then from 3, 6, no, 6 degrees of separation. Word of mouth, natural shit. They implemented this attack on the people. When they quarantined us, that meant the war was against a man. This was the start of the World War III. Armageddon has been here. They want your lights. They want your soul. Nothing else matters. So we gotta, if you are a religious person, if you are a biblical person, you're gonna have to level up. You're gonna have to level up, you know, because the way they giving you what's going down, you're not gonna get it. You're gonna be deceived. And like I said, if you're voting, if you're helping them, if you're fueling the tank that's finna blow your fucking village up, then you are already losing. You are supporting and fueling the system that you on your knees praying to be saved for. How contradictory is that? The same people you voting for, the same people you supporting, is the same people that's putting the poison in your fucking food. The same people that's putting the poison in your fucking water. The same people that's putting the poison in your air. We're going to have to go back to the wilderness, people. That don't mean being in the woods. It means like living like you in the woods. You might have to take a break on some technology. You might have to eat a regular piece of fucking chicken or a regular piece of bread. You might not even be able to eat no meat. It might just, you might can't fuck with no chicken Alfredo no more. But you niggas can't do that. Fuck that, man. You know I gotta have that duck a la carte every Tuesday, nigga. I'm gonna slap the shit out of something. Come on, man, with the bullshit. We're gonna have to start being compatible with what's natural. That's what pushes these people out. They can't thrive in a natural society. Why the fuck you think they putting shit in the air? Why the fuck you think they putting shit in the water? Why the fuck you think they are bringing forth all this technology? It be too boring for them. They ain't got no soul. They can't sit around and make music just sitting around with nothing. All this poisonous shit because they don't give a fuck. They're trying to make their exit. They're trying to bring us with them. They're trying to digitalize everyone, and they're still implementing this digital agenda. It started with you were the enemy until you take the jab. They got the majority of the world to take the jab. But you best believe they've been sneaking that shit in food, trying to get everybody studying different ways that they can get this shit in everybody. Then if you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend who got it, even if you didn't got it, you know when y'all exchange juices, them lit soldiers just gonna swim out of you into her or vice versa. Like they cold with the shit, man. They cold with the shit. So man, I can't even see the chat. Okay, salute. My brother T Ribbles, salutes. Fun Hall, salute. Big Dog Philly OG, salute. My brother the enemy's public, salute. Marty, salute. Salutes to everybody. I didn't see the chat this whole time, man. I just want to break this shit down a little bit because I don't think that people are aware of what's really taking place because of the narratives, all the distractions that's out there, all of the political distractions, all of the racial tension distractions. It's a lot of shit just to be able to throw us off course, um, you know, and we just have to build with each other, man. We have to all keep each other on point. We need steel sharpening steel, and we need to be able to pick the parasites out of our community. There's parasites in our community posing as us. And it's time out for keep giving people chances, and we got to pick the parasites out, or else we're going to be picking our poison. And it's going to be to our demise because these people who are, you know, behind the system, they don't care about being digitized. They don't have a soul just because they look like us. They put more trust in these motherfuckers anyway. So salutes, man. I tell y'all what, I'm gonna continue this, but look, we can get a vote, right? If we can get like some support for the stream, man, y'all put in. Let me know if y'all want me to open the stream back up. I'm gonna ask and support the show. We can do Okay, no sound. Salute. Damn, I've been talking. So what I was saying, man, was yeah. So thank you, my brother T Wriggles. We'll open it up. We'll open the panel up. If we could get some people to support the show, we'll open the panel up. You know, we get some share the video. We could get some people to support the stream. Hit the Cash App. We'll stay on for a couple of hours. I don't want to keep talking because I'll keep going on and on. This is something that I've just been looking into, you know, since before the weekend, man. And I got so much written down on this topic. I would like to hear some other insight from some other brothers or sisters. So feel free to hit the link. We got a little time today. Salute, salute. We got a little time today. And yeah, what I was saying was, you know, we got a lot of people who are looking for these catastrophes, these big catastrophic events to take place. And, you know, this keeping them from seeing what's actually taking place right in front of their eyes. Just like they was waiting on the rapture. You know, they're waiting on, you know, and they're telling you, oh, these asteroids is about to hit the earth and this and that. But as we can see, that's all bullshit. They telling us this shit happened. That's what let you know it's a distraction. They telling you this shit happening all while they're doing other shit here on this earth. So they're putting in play for you know, to set up this digital system. You know, they tried to do the digital currency thing, but I don't think people was just apt for that. Just imagine if all of us got into the digital currency thing. Most of the finances, and we still are dealing with the digital currency, but enough people didn't buy in to not want to have physical money. If there was no physical money, they already tracking damn near all of your transactions. But there's just that tiny little bit of transactions that's taking place that they can't track. So the more people that they can pull in to participate with some shit is what's going by default majority rules. So now when it comes down to this digital ID shit, now that everyone has, you know, the track record has been proven, we need to not participate. We need to not participate from here on out. Shout out my brother T Wriggle, salute. Oh, my brother OG Philly, salute. My brother T Wriggle, salute.
Salute, salute. My check, my check.
Oh yeah, salute, good brother.
Salute, salute. Flat motherfucking power to the Flat Power family. Go ahead, brother.
Flat power to you too, OG. The way I look at it like now is just as you were saying, we're kind of already tagged right now. And the way that we're tagged, I don't think we need to go any further with what the tagging has been going on. You know, like the little jabby wabby, you know, might have tracking devices in there. We know it has tech, nanotech in there. But the minute that they want to inject you with anything, I am not down with that. Putting everyone's digital ID on a mainframe computer, where now the possibility of you getting hacked now is gone sky high to the roof. It's something that I'm not down with at all. Not that.
Big facts, bro. And I'm not down with that too. That's a perfect way. See, like they're planning all of these attacks now, right? So they have all of these staged attacks. See, they can stay that. See, the hacking would be an attack. That'd be like a mass shooting.
Facts.
Yeah, that'd be like a mass shooting. If somebody just came in and hacked everyone's digital identity, now they got to do a reset. That's a tactic to be able to that's a tactic to be able to you know, encroach on everybody. Like, you know, now we got to wipe everything clean. Everybody got to start out. That's a tactic for them to be able to implement a new system. You see what I'm saying?
Facts. It's almost like, you know, as you just said, stage an event. Like, say they're going to say, hey, man, look, there's a pathogen in the air, and now there's a pathogen in the air. We need to isolate you and inject you with the serum that will help protect you, when damn well that's a lie. You know, so, you know, as we move forward, Key and OG, you know, people like us, we will send awareness, you know, and will always, you know, inform the people as much as we can. And then from there, the people would have to make a decision. You either participate in their games or you don't.
That's a fact, man. Now, and shout out to my brother Marty. I appreciate you, good brother, so much for supporting the stream, man. Y'all definitely going you know, keep us powered. Just your energy, man. Everything that y'all bring forth. I know y'all be looking for me to go live. I've been going through a lot too. I'm definitely feeling the fire from my mindset, from not selling out. It's a lot that I really want to tell y'all, and I will eventually, but I'm already under so much scrutiny because of the things that comes out of my mouth. I know y'all already got an idea. I just want y'all to know that I appreciate y'all, everything y'all do, and we're going to overcome this. But it's definitely got everything to do with the things that I say, the way that I carry myself, the way that I think, and my position in this war. So salutes to y'all for being behind me, and I'm gonna stay behind y'all and stay on y'all side in this shit, man. You know, they definitely want a brother like selling out and shit like that. And I'm gonna get to be a little bit more vocal on this. I just need to get past a certain checkpoint first, and then trust me, they ass is grass. So salutes to y'all. Much love and respect, man.
Yeah, people not you know, just to inform everyone, you know, the ones listening, you know, if you're not too aware of what Key was saying, you know, about being a TI, you know, a targeted individual. And when you're one of these targeted individuals, the power of your voice alone will put you on the list. The way that, as Key said, you think, you operate, you move, put you on the list. Your content that you make put you on the list. Spiritually, anyone here that's ascending spiritually most definitely is being put on this list. So when you get put on this list, certain things start to happen that don't make sense to an individual. And it's almost like we can't really share with everyone because, let's just say, it's a lot of weight to carry to explain ourselves to you. But just know that I know for sure, Key, I know OG is down with it all the way through. We will always be on the people's side, and we will always fight whatever battle they are sending or whatever's in front of us. we will achieve and overcome those obstacles. And I land. Oh, he got kicked off? Where is... Hold up.
Oh yeah, salute. Salute, salute.
Salute, salute.
Okay, yeah. And I gotta ask you a question, man. So when I was talking about the World War III thing, man, with the mind, body, and soul, with the politics, the social status, and the religion, how you feel about that when I was saying it?
Oh, I was feeling already. This thing has already begun. I think World War III in my mind now, now that, always gaining knowledge on things. And once I figured out how the world operates, yeah, we're in it right now. You were born in it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You was born into war. And, and for the ones that came here, all of us, and OJ's a really good example of this. He joined the military because something in his soul already told him, like, hey man, I'm at war, so I better start training to be a soldier. And so it took me a long time to come to grips with that, that we're in this captivity, this silent war, and once I understood everything, oh, there's no turning back from that.
Facts. I totally agree with you. And we can see that, man, especially when I kind of fell off when you was talking about the target individual thing. But right now, that's the most powerful tool that you can have. This is a spiritual war that we in. So the most powerful thing that you can do is have influence to be able to influence the masses, to be able to, expose their bullshit, because they're leading the sheep to the slaughter. So if you can turn some sheep around, it's like them losing money or them losing meat. You understand what I'm saying? So what's your take on that? Where do you think, how much of an effect do you think we can make with, because we had a conversation earlier, and if you don't mind expounding on that, because I know what we said earlier, but what's your take on us being able to influence the minds of the people, and as far as how much time we got to do so?
I think we have it's a beautiful opportunity right now. It's like Bobby Hemmett would say. He said that when society is going to crap, spirituality is rising. And so there's a window of opportunity here that will be seizing in a moment, and in my mind is that, I've said this before on the panels, I'm going to be focused on like two major things for everyone: food and shelter. If we can provide that for the people and being able to live comfortably, then we'll be able to heal, the minds of the youth, heal the minds of the adults, and just heal as a nation. As a nation, we don't have to go by their rules, but as a nation, we all need to heal.
I totally agree. I'm going to share the stream once I get a chance to. I totally agree with you. Um, it is very important for us to acknowledge that, look, should have been enough things that have taken place that should have pointed out a lot of these inconsistencies when it comes to the system. But all in all, like I spoke about earlier, as far as being a voice, you know, I have to take accountability myself and say, hey, it is a lot of things that I've been doing. It is a lot of things that I can do more of now to try to intensify, you know, what's actually taking place, man. You know, I can try to give more effort, you know what I mean, to try and you know, change the mind frames of the people, because so many of our people are being tricked. So many of our people are being deceived, you know, and like I spoke about with the spirituality thing, you know, so many of our people are, you know, they've come to the conclusion that they understand that, hey, Christianity not the way, so let me find something to replace Christianity with. And this is a part of the fucking trick too. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if a person on heroin, then okay, now we're going to take you to the clinic, and instead of us just getting you off the heroin, we're going to put you on Suboxone now. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Because, you know, just from my research and my observation, this is what's bringing these spirits of old. This is what's, you know, implementing the shout out to DJ Jaguar, salute. This is what's implementing this technology. This is why technology is growing at such a rapid speed right now. And the technology, even though it's making us comfortable right now, is giving us a comfortable ride to the frying pan, a comfortable ride to the oven to be cooked. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. That's I mean, the cooking part, you can tell the cooking part with all of the electrical towers that are around emitting frequencies in the air, keeping everyone in a certain type of vibration, you know, where there are tech, right, that won't do that and still power a gang of homes. So I understand this. I understand somewhat of what they're doing to keep everyone in a very survival, animalistic vibration. So if we can, you know, I understand your concerns because I'm not a tech fan like that. I know like we all can benefit off of this tech, but you know, we shouldn't go too far with it, especially any tech that's harming the place we live. If anything, we should have tech to uplift everyone and the land we stand on. That's how I look at it. You muted? All right. When you hop back on, Key, you know, I'm also in the stance of what OG Philly always repeats, and it's good. It's a good thing that you always repeat your stance on things, OG, right? To not really participate. You know, it's almost saying, you know, be of this world, but not of it. You know what I mean? We don't want to fuel or add any more liquid to the fire. So I understand that standpoint, especially if we have let's just say, for an example, you know, a chance to build things. You know, we should now be very efficient on handling things on our own. We shouldn't have government assistance at all when we can do the work. You know, just to, even though some people might say, well, Tulsa, Oklahoma, you see what happened to them. Yeah. So what? You don't want to do that again? Where the dollar circulated, what was that? 13, 14 times. You don't want to try that out again. But hey, you know, I'm a somewhat of a visionary dreamer, and I can see that happening for us.
Damn.
Huh?
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I'm trying to put this up. So how do you, I mean, as far as us taking the steps to do that, I mean, do you think we should try the same thing as the Tulsa, Oklahoma? I mean, or how does this look? And I'm asking you this for a reason, for a reason. So how does this look? Do you think we should try this again, or what does that look like? That us trying to reinvent this Oklahoma thing?
I think we should try it again, or if not, we might as well. If not the Oklahoma thing, we have to overthrow the whole damn thing. Like if we don't overhaul the whole damn thing, you know, and this has to be, to me, you know, to override all governments, right? It's going to take everyone on this planet to do so. You know, with majority rule, as you said, you know, our collective consciousness here, I mean, worldwide, you know, to get rid of government things. But if not, you know, we would have to do the Oklahoma. And this time, if you do the Oklahoma, you know, all defense mechanisms must be in play.
Hey, shout out to my brother, the Enemy's Public. Thank you for joining the bill. And I'm gonna say, I asked you that because I think that we've participated so much. Like I was talking about the people who think that they're gonna bring the troops in and they're gonna come clean up the city and it's gonna just go back to the way it was. I think we've already participated ourselves into a new paradigm, and I just don't think things are going to go back to the way that they were. I think we're already approaching a new system of things that we need to catch right now so that we can stop it before we get too far out of control. And salutes to my brother, the Enemy's Public. Salute. Y'all feel free to interject.
Peace, my brothers. How y'all doing?
We good, brother Nasir. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Whatever we do, we have to start off. We have to be security minded. Wherever we do.
Facts.
We're living in a world where everything's about force and power. We have to have force and power. We have to enable ourselves to protect ourselves. That's first and foremost. That was why they were able to do what they did in these various areas where our people were building and prospering. Because we can't think optimistic when it comes to an open and consistent enemy. They've been open and consistent. We have to see them as they are, not how they should be in this human manner. When someone behaves like warmongering, murderers, bloodthirsty, evil ass people, you got to see them that way. And if you know that's how they move, if you know they're greedy, if you know they are envious people, they don't want you having anything, even if you earn it. If you know we're dealing with people like that, we have to prepare ourselves to deal with people like that. We just gotta be security minded and learn from what we didn't do the last time we encountered these people. When it came to them, you know, everywhere they go, they invade and try to take what's not theirs. So if we know that's how they move, we have to prepare ourselves and inspecting it. You know, we gotta expect it. If that's the way they move, and just be surprised if they don't, but expect it. Because if you gotta look, wherever they go, they always leave the place ruined. Either they destroy it or they leave it in a manner that will cause a civil war. Leave the people to fend for themselves after they did their damage. We got to consider that.
Yeah,
we have to consider that. I'll land right there for now, my brothers.
No, that was well said, because, you know, defenses should be top priority, you know, and at the same time, you know, we should be able to govern ourselves very civilly, if that's a word, you know. And I think that
Indeed.
if we can, and this might sound weird, but if we can build something, right, and then set some rules and regulations, you know, I think with these rules and regulations and with this defense that you're talking about, I think it can be done. You know, if, let's take Arkansas, and I'm just using this as an example, if they can just take land and say Caucasians only, okay, well, we're not going to make it just black only, but, you know, like-minded only. That would, you know, that would be sufficient for if someone built something, you know, only like-minded people that have the same values, you know, and cherish those values, because everyone has family and we want our families to strive. Oh, go ahead.
I agree. You know, the Department of Defense is now the Department of War here in the United States. And they have a Department of Defense, and they've never been on the defense. They've always been on the offense. They've always been the aggressor. I don't understand why it was ever called the Department of Defense. I don't see how the Department of Justice was ever called the Department of Justice. Justice is a reward or a penalty. That's what justice is, a reward or a penalty. And
facts.
You see how you see what they call justice. Richard Pryor said it best. You go down to the court looking for justice, that's what you will find. Just us.
Facts.
That's what you'll find.
Let me give. Hold on, Keith. Let me give him one for that. I like that, brother Nasir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, brother. Yes, sir.
You get a bomb for that.
Yeah. And what you think about, you know, when I was talking about, you know, about the us having, you know, people looking for civil war and trying to, they've stopped that up, the civil war against the establishment, because they got their minions in place to, that you got to battle before you even get to the government. Trump did a damn good job of that. What do you think about that, man? Especially when he implemented policies that even people going against his policies will be deemed enemies of the state.
You know, a lot of judges are shooting down his nonsense, but I see it like this. The root of the problem should be the one dealt with according to how the law is. I mean, people have to you know how when a tyrant is in another country and they reaping havoc on the country, and that tyrant is toppled by the people, including the military, they have to grow a sack. They have to have testicular fortitude, brother, and say, look, I'm not doing this. You're fired. No, I'm not fired. As a matter of fact, Mr. President, you're under a fucking arrest for all the crimes that you're doing. I know you did it, okay? Because I did the dirt with you to get the dirt on you, and you got all the dirt on you. Go according to the law. Grow a sack. If you see this man running rapid, doing all kind of criminal activity, and you know he's doing this, you know he's doing vindictive prosecution. If you know he's a convicted felon, he should have been disqualified when he was convicted 34 times. But it lets us know how lawless this goddamn country is. For him to even allow to be elected. This country is lawless, as if it's been lawful in the first damn place. But it's just even more lawless when if you can ask your Secretary of Defense or your Homeland Security Director, can you shoot protesters in the leg? And he didn't lock your ass up then for saying that. He asked, can protesters get shot in the leg? I keep telling our people, whatever a government don't condemn, they condone. I keep telling our people that. But our people is looking at what's happening to others because he didn't get around to our ass yet. We're too celebratory. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Nah, these people are running rapid, and these white boys love this shit. They love it. These white boys love running around, snatching people up, and, you know, they wearing masks because they're cowards, because they don't want to be identified. They love this shit because it reminds them of something. That's why they love it, because it reminds them of something. Even if it's false, they believe it. It reminds them of that. They like kidnapping people and throwing them in cages. They love it. Some of these dudes will do this shit for free, on top of getting $50,000 bonuses for joining. You know, self-hate run deep, bro, because a lot of times self-hate runs deep. If you are a self-hating, self-aggrandizing motherfucker, you would go and you would do this to your own people, because I see a lot of goddamn immigrants working as ICE, bro. Snatching their own goddamn people up.
It's all just for the agenda. You
Hispanic,
know,
Latino,
it's just like,
Asians. Yeah.
All for the agenda. They snatching their own people up. And it's just like the white Americans. You know, the JEWs are controlling this whole fucking chessboard. It's like they playing chess with their motherfucking self. They just got black and white pieces on the damn board.
Yeah, you're right, brother. You're right. But you know, the brother, I think he's an admiral, the top Navy man down south in the southern region. He quit because he said he refused to obey unlawful orders from Trump. He quit.
I saw that.
He refused to obey unlawful orders. Trump want him to just bomb people indiscriminately because they on fishing boats. Remember, your brother said twice already. It's about that oil down in Venezuela. That's what it's about. They're going to go after that next. Because they've been trying to get a deal with them ever since Trump's first administration. Trying to get a deal with that oil. Because Saudi Arabia refused to renew their 50-year contract that they have for 50 years. They said, hell no, we selling oil to who we want to sell to. First, it was exclusive to America. Now it's not. Now they want Venezuela is closer to the United States than Saudi Arabia, and they want that. You're going to bomb a boat that's in international waters? That means everybody got access to that. You don't bomb them because they in it. You go in it. And that's the reason why when they hear somebody getting weapons, that's equivalent to a bully hearing that the person he was bullying going to the boxing gym and working out. That's what that is. You don't want them to work out. You don't want them to get their skills up so they can fight your ass back in the event that you attack them again. That's how America is. They don't want nobody working out. They don't want nobody to have weapons so they can always threaten them with military power if they don't capitulate to what they want them to do. That's what America does. And that's a coward to me. But when when a country that can fight you back, you want to negotiate. But these little small countries, you want to smack them around. They don't do that. They're not so quick to fuck with South Korea or North Korea or China or Japan. They're not so quick to fuck with them. Let's talk when it comes to them. But the little dude, you'll smack him around. You like the dude on the white dude on Everybody Hates Chris, punching Chris in the goddamn stomach every day.
Facts. That's a fact, man. I think they got, the Koreans and the JEW people that we were speaking about. I think they all got an agreement. I don't think they're gonna, have to worry about these people. That's why they say that we're their biggest threat. It's all about riding on the back of us and our people, man. I mean, how do y'all feel about that statement that was made?
You are absolutely right, brother. That's why the Security Council of Israel can say that the biggest threat to Israel is the young black youth in America. And the young black youth in America, they're looking at the potential that they have, the potential that if they get their minds right, which is going to happen because they're going to be forced. Okay, you don't know who your enemy is. They're going to show you emphatically who your enemy is or who to fight. Why? Because they're coming after your ass. They're going to let you know who your enemy is. You don't believe your enemy is your enemy? Okay, I'm going to show you who your enemy is. In the event these young brothers who are of fighting age, they're soldiers and they with it, but they just don't got no direction. They don't know who to point them blammers at. That's the problem. It's the only thing with them. They see the potential of these young brothers, That explains black fatigue, bro. No matter what they try, everything they tried against us to keep us down, to suppress us, to deprive us, here we are. We just won't go away. And they're tired. That's black fatigue. They're tired. It's not that we're this problematic people, because we're not. Because they have to create these scenarios. They have to lie. Some of our people believe the propaganda that they see about our own people on TV. Some of us believe that. If you got to manufacture crimes and crime scenes and lie about somebody being this terrible people, and they're really not, you're that terrible people. They are magnified something microscopic that's not even that bad, but they'll say that we're this problematic people, this terrible people. They have to make lies up.
Right. And that's what I was saying.
Don't show the dirt they do.
That's what I was saying about these events being fake. So people looking at these events being fake, but they're actually taking place. We talk about that all the time, how, we know that this shit was set up, but the psychological attempt for the brainwashing of the people is not fake. See, we look at some shit and we just want to call it fake and we throwing it out, but it's still taking place. It's still doing its job. It's still serving to its detriment.
It goes back to what I said, Brother Key. Everybody shouldn't have been allowed to watch conspiracy tapes, false flag tapes, none of those tapes. A person who don't have, people who have learning disabilities and attention deficits shouldn't be allowed to watch those type of things. You know why? Because they go out trying to teach it when they don't understand it. Because some people don't know what COINTELPRO is. It should be said outright. Instead of abbreviating, it should be said counterintelligence program, so people can know what it is. You got people yelling COINTELPRO. You got people saying psyops. And they don't understand the difference between a psyops and a false flag. They don't even know the difference, but they throw these words out and don't know what the hell they talking about when they throw them out. Most people don't know what they're talking about when they say psyops and when they say false flag. They don't know. They'll say shit that really happened. It's a psyops. And it is in a sense, but it's not fake. They equivalent psyops to fake. That don't make it fake. Psyops is how it affected people psychologically. False flag is fake. And that affects you psychologically also.
Facts.
People are intellectually lazy. They listen to dummies. You can't expect to get smart listening to a goddamn dummy.
That's right.
They listen to things that resonate with them, and it sounds good, and they'll go repeating it. If that person that taught you didn't know what they're talking about, how the hell are you going to know what you're talking about unless you study beyond them? But most people don't. They're intellectually lazy, bro. And they like microwave. They're the microwave generation. They refuse to study. Everything's fast. Put it in the microwave and put 2 minutes on it, and they got their goddamn information.
So much false information floating around because everybody wanted to just take
computers. Most of this for studying. I'm in the books. Yeah. And if it is on a computer, I'll print it. I like physical copies.
Fact, man.
A lot of these Negroes, brother. A lot of these Negroes, brother. I see what you do because, a lot of times you will be handling that business when I'm talking to you. I see what you're doing. And And these Negroes gonna do nothing but what they're doing. Hold on, I'm getting a call, brother.
Yeah, the laziness of studying a subject if you're going to speak on it. I totally feel that. And that's something we all have to change. Even I have to like really get some more factual information on stuff to convey over to everyone. But I will say this though. They do say knowledge is power. So, once you get the knowledge, it will be very wise to incorporate the knowledge into your everyday life. I think that's why we try to gain the knowledge, and then once you master it, then you're able to teach it to a 7-year-old, and the 7-year-old can get it. I think that's the mastery of really knowing something. And all that.
Yeah, I agree with you. All those are great steps to helping us get more pertinent information. But we also got to watch and pay attention to those people who undermine our information too. I wanted to say this because this is very important. It happens. There's always the brother Nasir was speaking about COINTELPRO, and we are so prone to being infiltrated because we're so fucking welcoming and so overlooking. We got to pay attention to when we're being undermined and when our mission is being disturbed. Even if a person is doing it without knowing they doing it, we got to check them, and we got to, handle the situation just like they trying to do it, because it's not about us personally or them personally. It's about the information. And if the information is being attacked, then that's also stunning our growth when it comes to us building in these spaces like this as well. So I want to point that out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. I mean, somebody coming in just not understanding and asking, asking us to explain something to them is one thing, but coming in being disrespectful and undermining our information and our efforts, they got to be checked from the door, bro. But I see a lot of people screaming, these terms while they display their behavior themselves, Brother Key. You know what I'm saying? They selling COINTELPRO, you're an agent, you're this, you're that. When while they display the damn behavior themselves, being disruptive, as you were speaking about earlier. I think it was on the brother Big Dog Philly OG's platform earlier when you were speaking about how you put the title in. Now, right now, you got Armageddon and the battle for. I came in speaking about food, and that's not what you're talking about. That's being disruptive, bro. That's being disruptive. I was supposed to come and talk because the conversations with you, Chi. The conversation is with you. This is your platform. You lead the conversation. Unless you say, brother, you want to move on to something else. The conversation with you, bro. You my brother, but I can't come up in your house and okay, I'm gonna drink the last cold one and put my feet up in your crib. Even if I'm your brother, I'm not supposed to do that.
Facts.
That's disrespectful.
Right.
It's disrespectful. I was supposed to come in and sit at your table and the conversations with you. You feeding everybody sitting there. Everybody doing their individual conversation and ain't talking to the man that's feeding everybody. You know how crazy they look.
Yeah.
Just imagine you got everybody at your table. Everybody having an individual conversation. They saying nothing to the man providing the meal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I remember, brother, being in Chicago. At the minister's house. And people were talking. I was just sitting there. People were talking and talking and talking and talking. And the minister hit the table. Boom! Everybody looked. He said, the conversation's here. Right here. That's where I learned that from. The conversation's here. Everybody looking like, wow. This man is providing a meal for everybody at the table. The conversation's with him. You don't come and disrespect the man's dining room like that.
Facts.
And that's how I see people. That's how I see people's platforms when I go on them. The conversations with you, Key.
That's a fact.
Whatever you want to talk about, unless you say otherwise. Unless you say otherwise, brother.
We got so many brothers. We got so many brothers who are,
I see people.
Yeah. We got too many people who
they're so used to that, brother. They're so used to doing it, brother Key. Getting up on the platform to say, why y'all talking about that? Nigga, if you don't want to talk about this, move on. Go somewhere else. But right now, we're talking about Armageddon and the battle for the hearts of men.
They're in debate mode. They're in such debate mode that everything has to be a debate. They don't want to build, so they're in debate mode, or they are, just trying to show how smart they are. And sometimes when we're talking about the type of things that we're talking about right now, this is for, if the brothers gonna build with each other, this is for the building. It's supposed to be about the information in the community. So this ain't no time for me to start shining. Well, let me show how much smarter than everybody I am, or let me shoot this dude's shit down because I've been hearing him talking for the last few days. And I'm really tired of that. And then we have a lot of people with their rhetoric. And so a lot of our people who are in a position to actually help us and bring things to the community are being shot down due to certain ideologies and certain rhetorics that are being held forth by troublemakers or just chaos agents in the community. And people are allowing this to happen and overlooking them just because they like them for a certain reason or another. And my bad, brother T. Wrinkles.
No. You good. You good,
brother. You're right. You're right, brother. You're absolutely correct, bro.
And so,
yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. You got it.
Well, just for looking at the title as Brother Nasir was talking about, when he said the battles for hearts of men. Right when I read that, the only thing I could think about is the battle for everyone's soul here. That is the most important thing. That's the most powerful thing on this planet, is our souls. So someone is trying to take our hearts, minds, and soul from us. So we have to prevent that from happening at all costs. Even though worldwide it happens, where people are, let's say, being sacrificed because of an earthquake or a volcano or whatever it might be. I think that, that's where my focus always lands. The only one war that's going on, and sometimes it's very silent to me. But I think us as a whole here, especially the gentleman here, we're going to turn this silent war volume up some more so everyone can hear and engage and move accordingly.
That's a fact, bro.
It's real talk right there, brother. We gotta move accordingly, brother. Gotta
move accordingly, because that's where I'm talking about this Christ consciousness that I'm talking about. Just having common motherfucking sense, having a head full of light, being able to think our way through and not leaning on my own understanding. And what that means is I can do whatever I want to do. I got free will and free range to do whatever I want to do, but I got to know when I do choose to do what I do, damn, what's going to be the repercussions of this? Damn, how am I going to affect others when I'm choosing what I want to do? So the illusion of free will is too broad, and that's what's causing us to be trapped up in a lot of shit too, because we making decisions based off free will that's actually fucking us too. You know what I'm saying? It's leading us to the path of the beast to be devoured.
Yes,
Go ahead, my brother.
Well, I look at it like this. You know, I was gonna do it.
What we despise, brother. That's what it does.
I was gonna do a little build on this. You know, where everyone is talking about the awakening.
Breaking up, brother.
Oh, okay.
It sounds good to me.
Mic check.
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
How do I sound, brother?
You sound better now. You sound better now.
Okay. You know how I'm viewing this. You know, the awakening. You know, I look at this as two parts. There's a physical awakening and there's a spiritual awakening. As long as you awaken, right, on the physical end, you learn the truth. You learn how things operate, right? You break down the lies that have been told so you can learn, so you can be enlightened about some things, you know. And then there's the spiritual awakening side where, you know, everyone should be going within themselves to find out all truths and all matters so you can really tap in. And the way I look at this awakening thing, either which way you choose, you should be awakening. Do you know what I mean? To certain truths going on in our society here.
Yeah. And see, yes, I think the flood of information was a strategy, because they knew.
Talk about it, bro.
And see, this woke culture, I'm gonna tell you something, and a lot of people, I don't want to be offensive to what I'm saying, but we have to be compatible with nature, right? Because this life was a gift. So when we're woke culture is the conspiracy theorists who are COINTELPRO, they woke because they know we got to move beyond woke. We have to become aware, because if we're not aware, we're still not going to be aware of the things that are set forth in front of us to destroy us. Now, these people are ancient tech gods. By them being ancient tech gods, they've already knew that, hey,
I agree, brother.
Yeah, the only way for us to really be able to survive, because this earth is on a time cycle. So the time cycle is that these people were able to live amongst us for a period of time, but the earth has a way of recycling itself. So all things that are natural with this earth will be washed away. It won't be able to survive, and they need our light for them to survive. We manifest their destiny. So they indoctrinate us with their plans, and we shine our light on their path and we follow them. That's why we're in the situation that we're in right now. We got bored. We traded places. Even with the people who saying we the original JEWs. So when we say we the original JEW,
they knew.
Yeah,
information.
JEW.
You said the flood, brother. That triggered me when you said that. It triggered me. The flood of information. They knew we would be looking for the information, brother.
Right.
And
They
and so a lot of and they knew some of us were lazy and would not be willing to just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and do research. Some of these brothers and sisters are just searching. There's a difference between research and searching. You know what I'm saying? If you are clicking on the first thing that you see and you're not scrolling down and scrolling down, reading this and scrolling down and going deep into the studies until you get your eureka moment, you're intellectually lazy. And they knew that some of us would get on here and try to teach, and they flooded the information. Say, okay, you looking for information, but we're going to give you what we want you to know. As the brother Key just said, they know we're looking for information. They know we're looking to inform our people. Awareness is better than woke, because when you're aware, when you got awareness, you don't get careless. Nobody that's aware, you know what I'm saying? You know how to move because you're moving according to your awareness. Woke, not so much, brother.
That's a fact. And see, the subconscious mind is what projects the reality. So by us saying that we the real JEW is the word you. So the J's and the W's interject. So you is you. So when we say we the real you and they say we the real you, is us trading places with them. So that in actuality is us by default. By default, we are giving them we're allowing them to enter our temple. We're allowing them to go
ahead, brother.
We're giving them access subconsciously because that's what projects our reality. So that's another trick that has been put upon us. So we have to be careful with that. And also by referencing this JEW, we're also giving more power to Israel because we're saying we're the children of Israel. Israel is Isis, Ra, and the god El. We have to have an overstand so we can understand. It's time out for understanding shit. We got to overstand so we can understand what's really taking place. They know how to create this augmented reality. They know how to implement these alternate reality states. And that's why we in the state that we in now. That's why fake shit is real at this very instant.
They know how to do it, Key. You're right. They know how to do it. And you know what, though, bro? It used to be a way that they could be real slick and deceptive about it. They don't even care if we know they're lying now. They don't even care about that no more.
People on their side that's helping push their agenda.
They lie to you because they exactly. They don't care if they know that we're lying, they're being unlawful. They don't even care about that. It's to the point that, okay, I want to be this tyrant. I want to be this, this emperor, because I'm telling you, it's about the optics. It's about how we look to other people abroad. You know what I'm saying? It's about how we look to them. Right now I'm speaking about Donald Trump. It's about how it looked to other people. He wants people to see him as this emperor, as this king. That's why they had the No Kings protest today. He wants people to see him as this ruler of people. He expects to win the Nobel Peace Prize when you causing all kinds of hell in your own goddamn country, but you want somebody to award you for peace with what they see on the news every goddamn night. You're supposed to get rewarded for peace, and it's sanctioned by your ass. I don't care what you say you did over there in the Middle East. And that's not even done. Because once all the hostage are released, you know, once Israel get all their so-called hostages back, watch what they do. Them people are liars, man. Man, Yahoo's a goddamn liar, bro. Once they get what they want, watch the barrage of bombs they drop on the Gaza Strip. They'll kill everybody up after that.
Right. And, you know, like when I was talking about this Christ conscious, you know, they said that your brain's power supply may hold the key to mental illness. Well, what's a way for them to be able to possess the minds of the people through mental illness? So if they could get you to lack the ability to have a full supply of brain power or light in the mind, then we will be more apt to have a microwave way of thinking, to be able to put in microwave information. And then what we doing? Following the algorithm. The algorithm has studied us, and the algorithm is gonna do nothing but lead us down the path to their agenda. See, these is some more tricks that's being put in front of knowledge, brother. Yes, sir.
It's a hot pocket knowledge, brother.
You know, and you know it's crazy.
Hit some buttons and press start. 2 minutes later, they're done. It's the night.
That's facts.
No studying, brother Key. I could tell that you look into what you're about to say. Because it's detailed. And it's not done sloppily. Like bro Sanchez, where he do things also, it's detailed and not done sloppily. You know, I don't subscribe to everything that he say, but what I subscribe to wholeheartedly. You know, yeah, I know how to you know, eat the fruit and spit out the pit, bro. I know how to do that.
Yes, sir.
But you know, when it comes to you I feel that you look into. You don't just say, well, you know, I'm about to go speak this. I studied 3.5 minutes and I'm ready. You don't do. I can tell you don't do that.
Facts. Because you know it's
the way some people present their presentation. You can tell they didn't look into it.
Oh yeah, my brother T Wriggles. My bad. I think I had cut you off.
Oh no. All I was gonna say is that, you know, who kind of remains hidden through this whole turmoil is England. You know how they say that once you get a lot of power, you now become invisible. And so throughout all of these talks and everyone warring, no one has said anything about King Charles. Do you know what I mean? Like, whoa, what are you guys doing over there? Oh, yes, got to get that book. Got to get that book for sure.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
It's ready. It's ready now. Okay. You know, and that hand that England, you know, kind of, and they're the royals of the world, you know, are putting together. I would advise them, you know, be careful during this time that we're in, because, you know, wrong moves or silly mistakes will have very severe consequences.
Yes, sir.
You know, a lot of our people would say, why would they do this and why would they do that? And what we got to understand is we haven't been a nation ever since we've been under this world banking system. There is no way out of this national debt that we've been trapped in, because the debt, once we bought into the world banking system, we bought into an interest system that's not going to allow us to balance this thing out. And they did this by design. So they got people chasing the bag, and chasing the bag is only leading us to you know, further push their agendas to what they're trying to do. These people have been trying to escape this earth. First of all, these people came from underground. They came from, see, they got us thinking that, you know, something's gonna come out of the sky. Ain't nothing gonna come out of the sky. These other people are, these other beings and things like this is coming from other lands and from out of the ground. They live amongst us. And they have swiped the minds and the memories of the people and set us on this. We got this good old American dream concept in our mind, but not knowing that we're so far from an American dream concept. That's why we got our black liberals and our black nationalists who are out here speaking. And shout out to Bro Sanchez for the information that he brought earlier, because we got a lot of people who are using the infiltration tactic of I only sleep with black women, but you have a white fucking mind. You're supporting the agenda of those who are here to trap our souls. How can you on one hand say that you are for the people, but you're voting in and you're pushing the tactics and the agenda of the people who are here to enslave and entrap the people? This whole digital system that's being brought upon us now is only implemented to more enslave the people. So when they come in, they're going to tell us that, hey, we're coming to fight crime, but they're going to get the people who are the people who not even committing no crimes going to have to suffer just as well as the people who are committing the crimes. So I don't want to clean up the crime if that means that I'm going to be subject to being detained as well.
Exactly. And that's crazy that some of our people rock with that, bro. I just don't see it. And it's like you believe that a liar will all of a sudden tell the truth. That's what it's the case of. Now, if you live in a city, Key, it's like if Donald Trump said he's sending the National Guard or the federal troops to the city that you're in, and you know what's going on in your city, and you looking around, you like, why? And the damn thing going on here. What's your agenda? And that's what the case is, because if the mayor of that city don't see fit to do it, or the governor of that state don't see to do it, and Donald Trump, it's not affecting you, why are you doing that? It's the optics. It's the optics. It's how it looks like he's doing something, and he wants to take credit for what was already done. Facts. He's sending troops to cities where crime has already been not quelled, but crime is down in some of these areas. Facts. But he wants to take credit. He wants to take credit for lowering the crime, and also he wants to actually cause some type of discourse in these cities. Because if you send in troops to cities and ICE to cities, and they're doing it how they're doing it, how these ICE agents are doing, how they going about what they're doing, it's wrong, bro.
Well, we see the repercussions of that now. We see that they're snatching up. We see that they're snatching up citizens, so-called citizens.
Exactly, snatching up people who's not doing nothing illegal. He says he's going to get illegals out of here and criminals out of here. They're snatching up any and everybody. So you lie. So why would you believe a liar? He's a liar.
And then how can an illegal immigrant come and tell me that they're going to clean this country up of illegal immigrants when you're the fucking illegal immigrant in the first fucking place?
Yourself, you have birthright citizenship. He has birthright citizenship because his family came from Germany, and his wife's a goddamn immigrant. And he's a criminal, talking about going after criminals. He's a convicted felon, bro.
Right. And they tricked us in the first place, telling us that, and our people got to wake the fuck up. They told us in the beginning. This is why when I first started my YouTube journey, my YouTube career, whatever you want to call it, Ados was talking about reparations. And I told those dumb niggas, yeah, I'm going to get disrespectful. I told them stupid niggas, half of you motherfuckers are voting Republican or Democrat, and you niggas is voting for the people who don't want you to have what you're saying that you're fighting for.
Exactly.
We'll never get it.
Neither one want it, bro. Neither one of them, bro. You know, if you constantly telling me that, okay, we have to study this. No. You're not going to tell me you can study this, because when other people come over here, they automatically get something. When those immigrants came during the Biden administration, you had money set aside for them in the billions. That's a bunch of goddamn nonsense. How was they able to get money that fast? And you got, you know what's crazy though, bro? The people that they snatching up in Chicago was sent to Chicago from Florida and Texas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See, they wanted to make Chicago the focal point. You know what I'm saying? In the hotbed, because every time we came after white folks and tried to hold them accountable for how they treated us, the first thing they pull out their ass is Chicago. With Chicago this, Chicago that. You don't care about us killing each other. You don't care if we die. So why do you keep bringing up Chicago? Why? Because you want to, you want to send troops there. And when these immigrants was going to Texas, they was going to these various states. People were sending them to Chicago to manufacture our disdain for those people.
In Chicago,
you said it earlier, Key. You said it earlier, Key. That the disdain that our people have for the immigrants was by design, bro.
It was by design. In Chicago,
our people just fell for it all over the United States. They brought these people over here, and then took away from us what we thought we should have and gave to them. And that's by design, bro.
That's by design. But see, Chicago was very significant because once our people were put on a trail of tears and we migrated from our territories, once we started to establish what they gonna call government, Chicago was very significant because that was one of our standing points. St. Louis, Chicago. And right now, what they doing was set up by design. They got people flooding in California because a lot of people are saying, well, hey, if I go to California, then, they got a universal basic income. This was something that I talked about 4 to 5 years ago. They're trying to get people over there in California for a fucking reason. There's going to be a mass... I shouldn't say that. There's going to be a big event that takes place. They're pushing people to these areas, just like they pushed those immigrants over to Chicago. They're pushing people over to California also, so they can be able to put forth their agenda, and they're going to put forth a psychological psyop. They're going to put together psyops that's going to make people be more willing to push their agendas, and it's out of fear. People are making these decisions out of fear.
Now, that's what they're doing now. I can see it, bro. I can see exactly what you're saying. I can see it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with you, especially what's going to be happening in California. But with these 19 states, gentlemen, what the hell is in Idaho? What's in Iowa? What's in South Dakota? And what's in Utah? I don't understand.
I don't understand what's there. I don't understand what's in those areas either. I know
what's over there. You got a few brothers that's over there, right? Now you got a few I'm glad y'all brought this up. Now you got a few brothers, even though the population is very small, there is a lot of brothers who are in these areas, but it's a lot of so-called white people who are on these drugs. And these brothers have made a lot of money being around. I got a friend that I went to school with. Now he was living in Nebraska, Idaho, all these type of places. He ended up making a lot of money. They got caught up in millions of dollar drug bust. He facing a life sentence right now. This happened right before this information that we talking about right now hit the big screen. So we looking at it like, damn, it ain't that many brothers over there. But it's a lot of brothers who went over there and made a lot of money because it's a lot of white people over there. There's a lot of Native Americans over there. And we know the Native Americans ain't the true American Indians. We know that we was already
I see
here.
what you're saying, Brother Key.
Yes, sir.
See, he see the junkies over in these states, the drug addicts in these areas that you're talking about as victims, but he don't see drug addicts like that. And the fact that his brother's getting paid, just like they get paid for selling a lot of damn drugs, they got to go to jail. Like, you know, the sex money and murder thing that they do, that the government do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But they want to lock the brother up on the block. You know what I'm saying? Want to lock them up, their little operation, want to lock them up for life. But the order of the day in the United States is sex, money, and murder. That's what they do. The government.
That's
why there's an Epstein file. That's why there's an Epstein file, bro, because of sex, money, and damn murder.
That's facts.
They do it on a daily basis. It's the order of their day. But they want to arrest the brother in Iowa or North Dakota. They want to arrest him because he's a minority and he getting the loot out there.
To send the National Guard, though, like the most populated state that has the most opioid, huh?
Optics is about how it look, brother.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I understand the optics, but if it was, you know, one of the heaviest opioid epidemic problems in the United States, you know, and I got this, and I double checked Dick Gregory's information on this, is Vermont.
Facts.
You know, their population.
I understand that, but you know what though, brother? Opioids and all those drugs that, you know, that's a sickness that they made an epidemic. That's a sickness. That's no different from the crack era, bro. That was a sickness too, but these people are not seen as victims. They're seen as criminals. But it's terrible that these white people are on opioids and they're dying. It is terrible, but it should be seen the same, bro.
It's a fact, because we can look at that.
They label these addicts as criminals.
Yeah, they label those as criminals in the crack era. Now we can look at that, and we can see the repetitive nature of this, because look at how many young black males were incarcerated for selling marijuana, and now since they locked all them up and shit, now they done came back and they done legalized marijuana. So now these white guys can go out and get marijuana fields, marijuana warehouses, and marijuana companies that come out and sell under the guise of having a dispensary. Even in Portland, Oregon, they got safe zones. They got legal crack dealers in Portland, Oregon, and in Washington State.
They got Amsterdam
over that motherfucker. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But you know what though, bro? If you go downtown in my city, on both sides of the downtown area, brother, you can't find a pair of sneakers or a pair of pants down there, but you can find something to smoke down there.
Yeah.
On both sides of the street in downtown area of my city, bro. Dispensaries everywhere in the neighboring cities, bro. They got warehouses on the highway, dispensaries. You see people lined up, bro. Like they about to go into a concert to get their weed.
Yeah, it's like that, man. In Maine, Massachusetts, Vermont, you know, I spend a lot of time in these areas. You know, being able to have accomplishments at a young age and be able to move out the hood, because unfortunately, we help the government suffice our own people. So when a person do become successful in the hood, we got these gangbangers, and then we're talking about Armageddon. We're talking about spiritual war. So when these children are going into these gangs and they're they coming from a victim mindset. They
It's
taught us
something
to
that I
beat,
detest, brother Key. I detest that, bro.
they taught
I
us to
detest.
beat our children and shit. And so the children want to run away from the parents and shit. And then they run to these pimps and these gangbangers and shit like this. And then these gangbangers and these pimps are being the head of them are is the establishment, because these people are under Masonic agendas. Even these gangs and shit like that. You know, I'm gonna do a
Yeah.
stream where the Bloods and the Crips, the Bloods, Damu, and all that. That's a demon. The Crippler demon is a demon. The vice lords are from the traveling vice lords. These are the traveling men from the secret society of the Masonic, of the Masons, the Freemasons. Even the gangster disciples and all that. I know this shit firsthand. This is who I come from.
The CIA actually organized both of them, bro.
Yes, sir.
And they don't. And that's the crazy part. Organized them and gave them their damn colors.
Yeah, they gave them their colors.
And it's not by coincidence. It is the same color of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. The same damn colors.
Red and blue.
Same colors, bro. They sent them in after the CIA operatives were done with their assignments. They were sent into our organizations. These organizations wasn't always like that. These organizations was actually vanguards of our community at one time.
Now you remember back when we used to watch Star Trek, right? When they used to go on Star Trek and they had the color codes on the wall. So they would just press colors. And we'll be like, damn, okay, with these colors they pressing, these colors are connections to the chakra systems. So what they're actually doing is they're programming the program. So by design, they're programming the program. So our people are being indoctrinated into a program to where now you're now the fucking slave catcher. Even though you're suffering from the system, you're going in and you're suffering your people as a system. So they've programmed the fucking program.
That's their game, brother. That's their
this
game.
Is perpetual slavery.
That's the crazy part about it. A lot of, like, when I think of a William O'Neill, and I think of a CIA operative that goes inside of these organizations, and these organizations, they're not corrupt. They have been corrupted. That's why when people talk about, well, the Panther Party was this or whatever organization was that. No, just because they were able to be, because they were infiltrated, it don't make the organization that it was corrupted. So for you to say that it's CIA, this is when people who are talking, who don't do enough studying, you could tell they don't study. If they could utter something like that, either you got it from somebody who don't study, or you don't study yourself. If you did some type of research or search and you found that the Panther Party is COINTELPRO and they're CIA, no, they were infiltrated by them. It don't make them that. They were infiltrated by them.
That's a fact. And it used to be.
Our people just don't understand. Our people just don't understand. They cannot fathom that. They can't understand that our organizations were infiltrated by the FBI and the CIA. Most of our organizations were.
We used to be grassroots, but now the algorithm has taken over, and then we got people looking for
excuse me,
ways to find be less than sneeze, good brother, be less than sneeze.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Shukran.
Yes, sir. And we got people who, we got to understand things like etymology and syncretism, because that's the only way that we can fight these people at their game, because they're using the wording is the program. So the wording is the programming. Every time they change what the words mean, that's what's changing the program, because it's being stamped inside of the subconscious. We're all projecting our reality. So by us being able to project our reality, if they can program the program, there's no need for a Willie Lynch. Once you put the Willie Lynch letter out, and once people start perpetrating the agenda of the program, then now the person who is the programmer can sit back and he don't have to do nothing. This is the same thing that AI is doing.
Exactly, bro. It's like, it's like the KKK and all the suspected white supremacist groups. We've been programmed with self-hate, our people, and they can just stand idly by and let us do their dirty work. You know what I'm saying? Because we're doing the job. We're doing that job for them.
That's a fact. And that's why
I remember having a conversation with a guy about the Willie Lynch letter. We was going back and forth because he was acting like a total, acting like a dead person. And I said, you remind me of the Willie Lynch letter. He said, that fake letter. That letter is fake. I said, okay, that letter is not. I said it's not fake. He said, give me one example of that letter that's not fake. Then what makes it not fake? I just said you. I said you.
Facts. See,
you prove that it's real.
We got to understand fake shit is real now. So, and it's been real for a long time. So even though they may come up with some shit out of a fake, it may be fake that it's made up, but the agenda of it ain't made up, because the subconscious, by them being able to stamp our brains, they're impregnating the subconscious. So this is what's helping us to project their reality. Once these things are stamped into our subconscious, then we're projecting the reality that they're looking for. We're giving them the results that they're actually pushing forth for. And they're doing it so well with the children that it's a damn shame right now. They got all the children running around not giving a damn, desensitized to death and murder, because that's the shit that they're being sold and that they were watching on these motherfucking screens that they got. So they're making demons or so-called devils out of the children. You see what I'm saying? Like they're bringing this shit into reality.
I see exactly what you're saying, bro, especially with the interference of parenting. With child protection, they only, for the most part, are meddlers and interferers of parenting, because that system don't protect children. That system exploit them, brother. That agency actually exploit children.
It's hard to protect,
but it's under the guise of protection.
When you can trick the parents that there's 24 hours in a day, that's a fucking lie. It ain't but 12 hours in a motherfucking day. If it was 12 hours, if it's 24 hours in a day, then how many fuck hours is it in a night? See, that's the first trick. See, they trick us to think that it's 24 hours in a day so we can give them 8 hours. It ain't but 12 hours in a day.
But so if you go by military time, after 12 noon, you go to 100 hours. I'm sorry. You go into 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 after 12 noon. Facts. So it's not, you go to that's how they read it in the military. You go 1,300 hours, which is 1 o'clock, 1,400 hours, 2 o'clock, and so have you. But that's but the 24-hour clock.
That's the 24-hour deception. Exactly. There is not 24 hours in a day. There's only 12 hours in a day. There's 12 hours night. There's 12 hours day. So throughout the course of the day, which is 12 hours, if you give your job 8 hours, you need an hour to get ready for this motherfucker. You're going to take an hour to 30 minutes to get home from this motherfucker. 10 hours, your whole day gone. Now your child is left to survive on his own. And what's raising these children now? These damn telephones. It used to be the TV screen. But now ain't nobody watching TV no more. They got all these fucking agents on YouTube. All these niggas who out spitting out all this bullshit ass rhetoric. All these smart motherfuckers. And like I said, I cook a lot of food, right? So I like to tell people say, well, man, your food tastes good, but why didn't you make it look good? Why the fuck I gotta make the shit look good if it tastes good already? That's crazy. Why I gotta make it look good if it tastes good?
Just what did Brother Nasir call it? What did Brother Nasir said? The optics. People love to see optics.
It's all about how things look, brother. Because you can see stuff that look good, and it's not.
Right. See, they even doing that with the woman today. They want to put a fake ass on a woman. They want to put a fake face on a woman. So you say this woman looks good, but this ain't no good woman. This ain't no good woman. So you want to make a woman with short hair not like she not a good woman because her hair short. You want to make a woman whose face ain't just perfect, like she ain't no good. Like she not a good woman, or a woman who ain't got this fat, perfect ass, like she ain't no good woman. Optics, but then you gonna get the optics out of this shit, and this bitch is gonna be so fucking terrible that it's gonna fuck your whole life up. See, it got us looking for what look good instead of what's good.
Optics. What is the first 2 letters in optic?
This is the
opposition. Let me ask you fellas, let me ask you gentlemen a question, because I saw 3 to 4 videos of black women praising Trump and the National Guard that came out into Memphis, and all of these women were saying, thank God that the National Guard is here. She said, for 5 hours or 6 hours, I didn't hear a gunshot. How do you feel about these 4 women saying, thank God the National Guard is here to help clean up?
Brother Nasir, you can go first and then I'll go after.
Brother, I wouldn't allow a woman like that within 50 feet of me. I can't stand women or men like that. Because if you are a man especially, you should be able to get with a like-minded men and correlate yourself. Talk to your young brothers and correlate yourself. For them to line up their own youth like that, begging, we don't realize what we're doing when we start talking about because I saw a video where people were begging the National Guard to come to Atlanta. I'm like, why would our people, knowing what they're going to do when they do get there, they're going to harm our children. You don't want to call them then. You don't want them. You don't want to call your enemy on your people. It's just sickening to me, because they're not just going to come and get the criminals. They're going to target all of us. That's the thing I don't like. They're going to target any and all of us when they get here. They're going to see us all as criminals.
That's a fact.
So why would you? So why would you call? Why would you want them to be in your city? Because posse comitatus, the rules of engagement of posse comitatus is that the military is not supposed to be used as police.
That's a fact.
It's the law.
We all knew in the conscious community at one point that once the military touched the ground, that was the implication of martial law. Why in the fuck are we here today and everybody is inviting the military
Exactly.
into brother?
Exactly.
When I got to Texas, I came to Texas, the neighborhood, and I'm familiar with this neighborhood. If you know me, you know I travel. You know I do community work. And shout out to my brother Tony, man, with the CEO Youth League. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, we the superheroes or we can change everything, but I came into this apartment complex. T. Wriggles out, you know, I talked to you, I talked to Brother Nasir, we talked about all this. These children were having a full-fledged war. My first week, 4 children died. I'm sitting outside on the phone with brothers, and I'm hearing a gunshot, and it's one gunshot, and it's over with. I'm waking up the next day, children are dying. I'm going out here, I'm putting my life on the line. I'm talking to these children. That's the shit that we need to do. We need a council of elders to go out and restore balance. We don't need no motherfucking military who's going to follow the agenda of the powers that be, because the powers that be are being controlled by these motherfucking fake bucket Jews.
They're going to go, Brother Key, they're going to, what the military is going to do is see them as enemy combatants and kill your children. So you call them, that's what they're going to see them as, enemy combatants, and kill them. And then you're going to be living with regrets because that's what you wanted.
Round your motherfucking children up like they animals. Because they have them, they've already implemented an animalistic mind state upon them. And I look at this, T. Wriggles, with your question, right? I look at that, it's just like the religious system. See, this is what I'm talking about, this mind, body, soul, this World War III. See, just like when in the religion, when they tell you just follow this religious doctrine and just believe, I look at this just the same. Just believe in your government, just believe in your president, and everything gonna be all right. All the while they're treating you as sheep that they're leading to the fucking slaughter.
No, sir. I'm not going to believe in someone. It's like, you know, I said it earlier, brother. Why would we all of a sudden believe a liar? Somebody who has lied to us. Somebody who, you know, he's going to indict his former, I think it's his security secretary, Bolton. He's going to indict him for what he's guilty of. Classified wire fraud, classified records and stuff, because he wrote a book. But Donald Trump had tons of goddamn classified papers in his house when they belonged in the damn White House. 34 felonies. 34 felonies. And again, brother, it lets me know how lawless the nation is, bro. I would never put my faith in America's jurisprudence or the government because they're lawless. Because when he went to get sentenced, he should have been sentenced. The judge postponed his sentence for 4 years. He's a convicted felon. Key, if you got convicted of stealing a pack of now and later, you would have got sentenced.
Oh yeah,
it would have sentenced you, bro. But this dude had papers that could have breached national security, and he didn't go to jail for it. That means the agenda. That means that's also that judge's agenda.
Facts.
That's all that means. That's a judge's agenda also, what he's doing. That's blocking him, that's shooting his nonsense down, they not with it. But the ones who's rocking with him, because anybody that Donald Trump can touch and manipulate and bully, he's going to do that to them. Anybody he can do that to. That's why I say he shouldn't be able to run these federal agencies. He should just be president. He should have very limited power. But when he's able to come in, he can fire this person. For him to be able to get rid of it, to do anything with the military is stupid to me. Because he wasn't in the rank and file.
We giving him the power out of fear. Out of fear, we're giving him the power. And my bad, brother.
He wasn't in the rank and file, brother. So how could you decide who's going to be the general here, who's going to run the military when you didn't come up through the ranks your damn self?
Facts.
That's just crazy to me. He didn't come up in the rank and file, but he get to decide who's the general. When the first thing he did, he fired the brother, and he fired the sister who was top soldiers in the military. The sister ran the National Guard. You know why? Because he wouldn't be able to control them.
Right.
He couldn't get them to do the shit they're doing today. They'd be like, no, we're not doing that.
He got to put himself in position to be able to make his move. And, brother T. Wriggle, what was you gonna come with?
I was gonna say that who really needs to be locked up in jail is Elon Musk with all of that Colossus crap he got down there in Memphis. I mean, that is
should be locked up.
Horrible. That is absolutely disgusting to infect the brothers down there with and call it technology. No, that's low grade, low frequency technology that are unaliving people down in Memphis. That is, I don't know how that applies.
They're doing spiritual alchemy. Because the tech that's there when we heard about it, it had been there. And shout out to Memphis. I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And shout out to Memphis. Memphis is about 2 hours away from where I'm from. And just like the thing that's going on, I don't want to speak on it, but there's something that we're fighting for. Now, there's been chemicals that's been burned that the people in my city, even my small city, I'm going to tell y'all something. We got 50,000 people or less in our city. This is one of the smallest cities in the country, but our murder rate is higher than motherfucking Chicago.
That's crazy.
Okay. Chicago got 3 million fucking people in it. But on a ratio, we have more murders than Chicago.
Yeah, that's wild.
Especially if your city is smaller.
It's 40,000, 50,000 people probably. Okay. So these chemicals that they're burning, that they've been burning in my city, right? This shit is causing all types of psychological problems. And then we want to wonder why these children are the way they are, have the mindsets that they have. They're fucking imbalanced, brother. They're chemically imbalanced. They're fucking retarded. This is what's happening in Memphis. All of these electromagnet, these electromagnet forces that are being impulsed on the people are driving them. But they're doing spiritual alchemy because they're also fucking the economy up. So when they fuck the economy up and they're making these people psychologically fucked up, all while having to be in survival mode, what the fuck you think gonna happen then? Of course, there's gonna be crime.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is alchemy. This is spiritual
crime, especially, bro. It's wicked to even suggest that with all that's going on and you add poverty to that, it's not going to be no crime. That's just stupid to suggest. Wherever there's poverty, it's going to be crime, bro. On top of what they're doing. On top of what they're doing with the chemical imbalance, with the radiation, you know what I'm saying? On top of putting up 5G 5G towers and their chemtrails, bro, they doing all kinds of stuff to make people go, haywire, bro. All kinds of stuff.
You add the music in, you got these wizards and warlocks, you got NBA Youngboy, you got Lucci, you got all these motherfuckers who are taking it, even Future.
And then you add what some of these brothers are smoking. You gotta watch where you get this stuff from, bro.
And shit that's going into it. Yes, sir.
Gotta watch it, bro.
These pills, these fentanyl pills and shit that they putting on the people and shit. All this shit is spiritual alchemy. All of these things are bringing forth the outcomes that we're seeing play out in real time.
Tell you, I mean, bro, look, I smelled weed when I was growing up, and it smelled totally different, bro. It's not the same, bro. I always say that. Well, y'all not smoking my parents' weed. That's some different shit y'all smoking. It's different. It don't even smell the same. Don't smell the same at all. And cats cats roll some shit up and give it to you, motherfuckers just willingly smoke the shit, not knowing the chemical nature of it. Chemical nature, meaning that they added to it. When they start designing it themselves and added, see, brothers think they be showing they weed plants and they be, yeah, I got this and this and this and this and that. You don't fucking realize what you're doing. You wonder why you're so goddamn emotional and fucking sissified. Because you'll take these chemicals they say put to grow this shit instead of growing it how it used to be grown naturally, real sunlight. Not no synthetic sunlight. These niggas growing shit, they doing the same thing they do with the manufacturing plants to the goddamn weed and expect that shit's not natural, man.
What is dark matter? Dark matter is of a lesser light. Dark matter is of a lesser light. So you're bringing a low vibration upon the shit that you're growing, even with the food, with the marijuana and shit like that. Yeah.
If mass-produced food is not good for you, what makes you think that's good, mass-produced?
Yeah, I'm going to touch on that.
What makes you think that? It's mass production, bro. And anything that's mass-produced cannot be good for you.
Yeah, because that was. I was around some people out here that was kind of connected to the farmlands out here. And, the farmlands are, let's say, what number did they tell me? Anywhere from 85 to 95% of the farmlands here where they're growing some of the weed are owned by the elites. So with what's going on, and the dispensaries popping up. Yeah, they're making money, but like you said, they're doing something to it. This is why I stopped, because it was blocking something that shouldn't be blocked. And I'm in totally agreement with what you're saying, because this is the underlining thing that they love to do, knocking out 2-3 birds with one stone. And so, just as you said earlier, be careful where you're getting your weed from.
Be smoking that stuff, man. And then all of a sudden, you know what, man? I want to be a ballerina.
And you want to turn and do the curl. Yeah, this is you know, this is a serious matter, you know, and I have a solution for that later on.
I told you that, you know, the Navy, I mean, it's been years though since I've read it. They be spreading manufacturing bombs, man, that turn jokers into, you know, Fruit Loop troops.
Hey, you know, there was the study, the scientist by the name of Tyrone Hayes in California, and he analyzed the little stream or lake that was next to the farm, because they kept spraying the farms with pesticides, and all of those pesticides, whatever chemical they were using, was leaking down into the water, into the lake or the pond, whatever it is. And he was able to analyze the frogs, and then the frogs were mutating because of the pesticides that was leaking down into it. The frogs were mutating, turning themselves from a male frog to a female frog.
A frogette.
Yeah, a frogette. And look, and the dude got banned from UC Berkeley, from Cal Berkeley, for putting that study out.
They're frog going, ribbit. Yo, T Riddles. The frog going, ribbit.
Yeah, all this spiritual programming, man, you know, and they're doing this shit and they're not hiding this, but we're just not comprehending. We're reading it, but we got reading and comprehending
different things, bro.
Reading and comprehending are two different things, but they go hand in hand. After you read something, then you're supposed to comprehend it. We're reading shit and thinking that.
Yeah, they used to have a commercial, reading is comprehension, and it's not, bro. It's not. Just because you read something don't mean you comprehension. That means you know, even if you know something, it don't mean you comprehend. Even if you know, you don't.
We thinking that we comprehending it just because we're able to read it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. My brother Key, I have to go, brother. I appreciate you allowing me up. It's been a good build. Got to do it again. Peace to you, brothers.
I agree with you, Brother Nasir. It was a good build. Thank you for blessing us with your knowledge, man. I mean, who does it better than Brother Nasir? You know, and salutes to you, brother.
Salute to you, brothers. Thanks for allowing me up. Thanks for allowing me to the build. Peace. Love to everybody in the chat. Salute, my brothers.
Salute.
I'm gonna follow suit too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and take care of business here. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure and an honor, man. And you know, we just got blessed with Brother Nasir's knowledge, and of course, you know, your wisdom adding to the build. Man, thank you. Appreciate you, brother. You know what I mean? All day, every day. And let's keep it.
Man. I appreciate both of y'all brothers, man. I definitely appreciated both of y'all's insight on this. Like I said, I want to continue this. I left it broad so that we can bring in, you know, that will be, you know, consistent with the topic. You know what I mean? So salute to y'all. We will continue this. And then shout out to everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got Nino coming up. Before you go, salute to my brother Nino. Salute.
Man, I was just talking to see what y'all talking about. I'm putting in,
Yeah, man, we've been talking about Armageddon, the battle for the hearts of men. We've been talking about how a lot of our people are falling victim to thinking, leaning on their own understanding, thinking that they're going to get what they want out of the agenda of the system, but the system is actually pushing forth their own agenda to what they bringing upon the people. I mean, what's your thoughts on um you know these tactics that they bringing upon us, man? As far as like, we got a lot of people when it comes to Armageddon. A lot of our people don't understand that Armageddon is taking place now. People are looking for these catastrophic events to be taking place to actually believe that Armageddon is here. But Armageddon is here now, man. Even when it comes down to the political structure, we got people who are falling under the guise of, left wing or right wing. And all of this shit is just helping the system push forth its agenda because they ain't got but one agenda. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you could look at Armageddon in the kind of way. You could look at it like how they invading these cities with with the military. You ain't never seen the military activated on U.S. soil like that. So you can look at that right there. That's part of it.
That's a fact. Like we always knew in the conscious community that once the military was implemented on U.S. soil, we always knew that there would be martial law. That was never nothing good for the people. It's just like the religious structure under Christianity. Like I tell people, if you're a Christian and you're voting for nationalism or the establishment, then you can't be a true Christian. But they got people under the guise of just believe, and they got this political structure set up just like the church and the state go hand in hand. So they got the political system set up just like the religious system. So, they just want you to believe when it comes to the political structure, and they're making people make decisions based out of fear. So people are fearing the crime structures that's set up in these cities, and they telling people that they gonna go in and they gonna clean the crime up, but the people ain't realizing that things ain't gonna never go back to the way they were. The people thinking they gonna come clean up the crime, and then we gonna have a chance to operate in a crimeless society, not knowing that they pushing for a digital society. Man, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, well, you gotta look, man. You could look at how they reacted to even look at the gun law. You know what I'm saying? So you telling me that you having more mass shootings, but you lower the age that you are able to go purchase firearms, to carry firearms in the southern states, Louis-
Facts.
Louisiana, Arkansas now, 18, you can go buy a pistol, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then it's open carry and concealed carry.
Facts.
Arkansas passed the stand your ground law. That lets you know shit. They want more shooting. Hey, yeah. That show you the agenda right there, bro. You have more shooting, so you lower the age.
That's crazy. Salute some middle ninja. Salute, bro. You want to interject?
What's cracking? What y'all talking about? I heard a little bit.
Man, martial law, Armageddon. Like I was saying, the religious structure has been set up on just believe. If you just believe, then everything gonna be taken care of by when Jesus returned. It's just like on the religious structure, on the political structure, they're telling you to just believe in the government, and the government is gonna take care of everything. So they using people to get their push for the political agendas based out of fear. Like they sending people into these cities saying they gonna clean up, the crime and everything. But the people thinking that once they clean up the crime, they're gonna go back to everything's gonna go back to normal. We're gonna be able to live in a crimeless society. Man, what's your thoughts on that?
Like the way I see it is, you can't force the people to do shit. So you gotta find a way to make them do it on their own and shit, right? The whole idea behind religion is to kind of curve a person's critical thinking, their ability to think and do what they want. So you create this atmosphere like there's this punishment or this reward. So you'll move their thinking into like avoiding punishment, which is hedonistic, you know what I'm saying, and only doing it for reward, which is also like pleasure versus pain, you know what I'm saying? And so with that, when you set up with that, you educate them in the school system, you kind of keep them to a degree like mentally confined, but they're not mentally confined. Motherfuckers, like my son tore a classroom up in the 2nd grade, bro. First day of school, first week of school, this nigga destroyed the fucking chairs, tables, everything. He fucked it all up. You know what I'm saying? And so like when they get older, you got to kind of keep that same program running and shit, because like I get people saying, oh, the AI this, they're making them do this, they're hoping to do this and that. Like the whole goal is to get people to do it themselves. You can't, that's the whole purpose of the news and shit. Motherfuckers is like this No King protest. Motherfuckers is going there because they want to. Motherfuckers is angry at the motherfuckers going there because they want to. So like the idea, like there's two kind of Armageddons. There's the one they talk about, which doesn't seem to be a possibility, because once you force them and they're not doing it on their own, you kind of lose your advantage. You kind of lose your upper hand of manipulation and good wizardry and sorcery and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the other half is the Armageddon of the individual that just says, fuck what everybody's talking about. Fuck the echo chambers and the group think and the confirmation bias. I'm going to make my own decision. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And if y'all going to have to kill me, so be it. However, it ain't going to be the elite going to come personally to deliver the death blow. It's going to be other people that look just like you, and they're going to want to do it. It can't be forced on them to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's something they want to do. So, like, it's a tricky game, bro. But I'm kind of like, for me personally, I'm past the whole super enslavement shit. You got to enslave yourself, but there always has to be somebody left to enslave, because once everybody's enslaved, now what you going to do? Sit there and play with enslaved people? There's no fun in that. There's no challenge in that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I see it.
I'm rocking with that. What you think,
Uh,
Yeah, I ain't sure if you broke up or can you hear me? Mic check, mic check.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I think you faded out, bro.
yeah, I think
Oh, yeah, I think you faded out again. See, I just think that they only got one agenda. Uh, I think, but I don't think it's nothing that we can kind of do if we don't all just fall into place like right now. I think. Oh yeah, oh yeah. If you got your mic together, you go ahead, bro.
That was me.
Okay, Nino, you want to give us a mic check?
yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, yeah, you got it. Were you able to hear what Mental Ninja was saying? You want to interject?
I didn't hear it all. Rose cutting out, so I didn't hear all of that. I just heard like the end.
Hey, you want to give him what you were saying, like in a nutshell, bro, so he can just
Yeah.
interject.
So this is how this is what I see. You know, is that there's no forced play being made. They're not trying to enslave everybody and this and that. They want people to enslave themselves. They want to do it willfully of their own volition. So they funnel the resources, creating super propaganda, super mass media, religious institutions, schools, and the goal is how can I get this person to do this without me telling them to do it? We give them all the information to funnel their fucking thinking. Because at the end of the day, if a motherfucker just says, like, it's like the consent thing. She's saying, "Oh, give it to me, give it to me." Then she says no. Now we in trouble. Now she changed her mind and shit. So it's kind of like, how can they make it to where they don't enforce it, because it's like a challenge. You know, it's like a real challenge and shit to manipulate people and shit. Because once you force everybody, there's like you taking yourself out of the power, because there's no need to enforce anything and shit. So, the whole, like, the no kings thing is going on, and the Republicans and this and that. Like, it's all designed. I see it as it's all being designed to get people to go there on their own. If you build it, they will come, but you ain't forcing them to come. You're just gonna set it up, and the motherfuckers gonna show up on their own accord.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Like with them relaxing the laws, they giving you more and more opportunities to fuck up. They gonna let you do it yourself. Stress gonna kill you. They got that. Look how they relaxed on gambling. 10, 20 years ago, you couldn't go in all these states and gamble. Now you got your gambling. You got your lower gun laws. You know what I'm saying? So they just putting everything in position. Baby, basically, goddamn it, kill you. Said pick your poison.
Yep. And like the idea behind these elites and shit, what I'm saying? Like, the information that we talk about is information that's kind of given to us. And the reason that the information is being introduced, kind of like a variable or a placebo or a control in any kind of experiment, is placed there on purpose. Like in a movie, everything you see in that scene inside that house, everything was a part of a prop. The walls are set up the way they're supposed to be, the curtains, the stairs, everything is designed to be for the purpose of the movie and shit. You're not going to see anything within that scene or that shot that's not supposed to be in the movie. But then he like, oh, the watch is on one hand, is on the other hand and shit. Those things happen and shit, you know what I'm saying? But as far as the actual set itself, it's a set stage and shit. So, like, I'm talking to my coworker at work and shit. And he's like, "Oh, Zach don't believe in. He don't watch the news, this and that." And I was like, "I watch it. I just don't fucking pick a side. I'm not Democratic or Republican. If you would call me anything, you would probably call me an anarchist, because I'll do what the fuck. At the end of the day, I'm gonna make my own decision. It might be catastrophic. It might disrupt what other people think and shit. But most people, they pick a side because they think if they pick a side, then they're gonna be on the safe side with the biggest guns, and the other side is going to be the cause of all their problems. And this is how you can do this. Look, this no kings thing, the whole country is in protest. Now they're pitching it a certain way, but controlled opposition and damage control and shit is like all a motherfucker gotta do. Really, the ingenious supervillain plan is like, if they protest, I'll display it on TV and say it's the left. There's only one side that's protesting. It could be everybody that's like, nah, we're not with this shit, but they all paint the picture of one side, and us motherfuckers, we gonna believe one of the two, because we gonna be watching this shit from our fucking phones, thinking that we got the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God. Meanwhile, we just sat on our phone and based our decision, our future and shit based on what we saw through a fucking screen. So like, it's that shit crazy. And even like Trump, like, there's no way that guy is running he's doing it by himself. He can't pronounce certain words unless he's like playing fucking, what's that movie, Usual Suspects, when the nigga with the limp, the nigga had the limp. All of a sudden at the end of the movie, he was the one who really did it, but he played everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know what we want. They know what makes us tick. Whatever it is, whether it's the devil, it's AI, or it's some super king in motherfucking Abu Dhabi or some shit. The niggas got they got the fucking paperwork on us. They know how to make us move and shit. The worst thing you can do is just like really just I don't care. I don't pick a side, you know. And the thing is, like, many people aren't gonna follow you because that's the game. By you.
Right. And they're getting people to pick a side. And so by people picking a side, people participating. So that's pressing a button. So I'm with you on that shit 100% because it's like on the joystick. It's like on the controller. So they put the game out there. I'm going to just reiterate on what you were saying. So the software and the blueprint is behind the software of the game. And if you press a button, you're going to only make the moves as what's implemented within the software of the game. But when you don't participate, you don't implement the programming that's already put in on the game. That's the worst thing, like you just said, that you can do towards the system. They need you to play to pay. They won't pay from you. They need you to play. They need you to play to pay.
Yeah, bro.
So
Like,
yeah.
that's kind of like in the movie that Matrix and shit. There's this one chick, the Oracle, and there's the one nigga, I forget that nigga's name with all the doors on the TVs and shit at the end and shit. The fucking creator, the commentator, whatever the fuck they call that nigga, you know. But those programs were able to see everything from the position of the program. The Oracle was a program too, a prophecy. And you have the Merovingian and shit. He was an Oracle too and shit. You know, he was a program too. The fucking twins, everybody. Even the people that weren't in the Matrix were still a part of a program and shit because they were thinking that Neo's gonna be this one, and he was like, "I'm not the one." Like this shit, like that shit broke Morpheus' heart. That nigga almost cried and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't until Neo became the one on his own and shit, even though it was still prophesied and shit. You know what I'm saying? The programs weren't privy to the prophecy, and even the prophecy in Neo himself, being he programmed himself into the Matrix. Because remember, at the last one, he is. On part 4, it's him who wrote the Matrix and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, you said it right, participation, bro. Even non-participation is a form of participation. So like, either I'm gonna make it's like this group Rush from Canada. They got this song called Free Will, and in the song they said you could choose a varied guide in some celestial voice. You could choose not to decide, but you still have made a choice. You know, and it's like the idea of the lesser of two evils and shit. So you really can't get out the idea off the platform, the programming of choice making and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when you're making your own choice, as far as like you see the masses, everybody's going left, everybody's going right, and you're at the crossroads. What do? You can stand there, you can walk back the other way. You can go left, you can go right, you can go in the middle and shit. But if you do what you're doing that seems to be in opposition to the masses, then you might find your own truth. That's like one more thing. In that movie, Ready Player One, you know what I'm saying? That nigga had to go backwards in the video game race and shit to get the secret key and shit. And every time he found the secret and shit, he was doing shit that nobody else was doing, but it was programmed to be done.
Facts. And we seeing what you saying because every time somebody go against the Matrix, that be the person that the whole system is going against. Like you got to be with the system. Like they got the algorithm now, so you got to go along with the algorithm to be pushed up or excelled in the algorithm. But once you go against the grain, once you go against the algorithm, then everybody else start to go against you because they been like bit. They become vampires too. Even though they're complaining about vampires biting them, they become vampires. So that comes back to my point of when I was saying the Civil War is supposed to be the people going against the system, but there won't be the people going against the system because the system has programmed people to go against the people who going against the system. So that's the Civil War now. You know, because it's all about social status and shit because they trying to bring this shit digital. And then, you know, I don't know if you want to interject, bro, but I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, like, and it's the fucking, so like, and like, this is the fucking weird part about it is if they're trying to go against the system, they can't forget. It's like what James Harden said. He said, I am the system. They are an inherent part of the system. Matter of fact, if you don't have them, you don't have no system. So if they're going against themselves, they're still going against the system. And for that one person, it's like, you know what? I'm going to go against the matrix. That's only because it's part of the matrix program for you to make that move. There's nothing new under the sun, period. So any move that can be made will be made, and it's supposed to be made. Even a non-move is still a move that was calculated and will come into purpose and shit. And that's like when you have the idea of like of God or Brahma or the all mind and shit. You know what I'm saying? Anything that can happen, anything that cannot happen is still part of that. The possibility is the infinite all. Even a possibility of a non-possibility is still included in the possibility. It's like a fucking conundrum, a paradox kind of speaking and shit. So this is the secret, or might be the secret, is the one individual who decides to carve their own path. While they may think they're carving their own path, they're only carving a path that can be carved. Everybody's on this path, everybody's on the other path. And the individual says, I'm gonna create my own path. And the thing that makes it all the same, the lowest common denominator, is a path. I hope that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it make a lot of sense, bro. And then Nino, you want to interject? I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, salutes to you for that, Middle Ninja, because I'm tracking with you. That
Bet.
you still on. Oh yeah, Nino, can you hear me? Yeah, man, because you know, like I was saying earlier, like say for instance, these people who are we got a lot of Christians. So we got people who are they're tricking the people, just like when they got people going into these cities and shit. You know, they're trying to go in and clean up the crime and shit that's inside the city, and the people thinking that they're going to clean up the crime and shit, but the people are under the guise of that they're going to clean up the crime, but their mind frame is saying, hey, we're going to be able to go back and live a crime-free society. They don't know that the agenda is being pushed for a digitalized society, so it's never going to go back. So they're using your fear to get you to help implement their agenda, but all the while not telling you that, okay, once you help us implement our agenda, shit ain't going back to normal. So that's the trick and the misconception that's being put upon the people. Like, what y'all think about that shit? And then Nino, your mic good?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm just in and out. I'm good though.
Okay, yeah. What you think about as far as what Mental Ninja said, and as far as the people giving their energy, expecting one thing, but not getting what they putting their energy in for. It's kind of like the sheep being led to the slaughterhouse type of thing. How you feel about that?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's been going on for a long time right now. You saying, is it coming to a head with Armageddon? But like, we've been discussed that Armageddon not gonna happen on one day like that. It's just gonna be systematic changes and things gonna change slowly but surely that moves you into that total anarchy. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, they invading cities right now. Those just test runs to see when they really do it and when they really take over, how long would it take, just really getting data for it. So it's coming for sure, bro.
Hey, one thing too, like, so I live in Vegas and shit. I work on the strip, and right now we got 100,000 people here for the when we were young concert music festival and shit. with all the Blink 182, you know, Weezer, you know, 3 Days Grace, all the motherfuckers and shit from like 98 to like 2003 or 4 and shit. You know what I'm saying? My time was like alternative and grunge music back in the early 90s, like 96, 97. Then it became like, you know, hip hop and like some of the different like Tool, Metallica and shit, Rage Against the Machine, System of a Down and shit, right? Slipknot and Korn and shit. But like this is a different age group that they were the ones who were like, you know, they were the young ones that were listening, that were watching like SpongeBob. They watched Teletubbies. I graduated 2000, right? But like out of all the people, had a couple conferences going on. We just won the motherfucking WNBA championship. We got preseason games going on here in Vegas and shit. And bro, all the people I've seen today, ain't none of them seem to be talking about what we talking about. Ain't none of them seem to be talking about what's on the news and shit. And there's people from every fucking state in this bitch. In masse, you know what I'm saying? There's people from damn near every country in this bitch in masse, you know what I'm saying? And so like the weird thing about it is like kind of like what Nino was saying, bro, is like it is like a test run, but at the same time, like the idea is to just plant the seed in people's minds that there's a problem, and with the problem there must be a solution, and they repeat the problem over and over and over and over and over. And the common consensus, like my work partners, they're both conservative Republicans and shit, you know, and they're just like literally they're just repeating the fucking exactly what the news says, bro. Like it's not critical thought, bro. They're fucking bots, bro. They're just repeating exact copycats. They're not thinking from their own mind. They're literally repeating the exact verbiage from the news. Like I was like, bro, why is these ICE motherfuckers wearing all these masks and shit? And my partner was like, what? What are you talking about? So I mean, you want them being doxxed in their own? I was like, what the fuck? Like, bro, I haven't used that word maybe since like my sophomore year in high school in like language. And I googled docs. And the motherfucking exact phrase he says popped up, and that phrase is used in media reports over the past couple times over the past like 4 or 5 months. The most recent was last week. This was last week's conversation. So like the thing, like in order to subvert our rights and shit, you kind of got to give us a little visual of it and shit. Now, mind you, when we were going to war with Iraq and Afghanistan and shit, bro, we were bombing the fuck out of their ass and shit, and they got these people they call terrorists. We're over here on the state side thinking these are actual terrorists and shit. But then back home, they're just fucking like families, nigga. These niggas are just like fucking families trying to defend their neighborhood, their house. You know what I'm saying? So it's so easy to, like, just like the pandemic, bro. On TV, everybody had died, nigga. Niggas is, even after the Tiger King's TV show came out, the very next day, the motherfucking tiger in the New York Zoo tested positive for COVID and shit. So you can compartmentalize everything, and like it's easy because they gave us the phones, they gave us the TV, they gave us the fucking all the streaming services and shit. You know what I'm saying? If they provide a service, they gave us DoorDash, Grubhub, Amazon. What's the other one? Temu and shit. We don't really know where none of this shit comes from. We just want to get something, and it's like it's like a pleasure-based system and shit. We won't think as long as we feel like we're getting some kind of reward. That's like how you teach rats how to play basketball, and how dogs to sit for a treat and shit. They don't give a fuck what you tell them to do as long as they get that receipt for that fucking treat. You know, so whatever's happening in Chicago, I'm about to be in Chicago on Friday this coming Friday and Saturday for a club event or RIP run and shit. You know what I'm saying? The way they're like, I don't even know like how they're finding these fucking like illegal aliens, bro. Like, nigga, they have like how they find like a couple kids over here, a mother and an uncle over here, half an apartment building. Like, nigga, do these niggas not play Warzone? Everybody in Warzone ain't from here, nigga.
Right. And they're pushing these people up from certain places where they pull these people in, and like that's like what I was saying, like, you know, they're implementing this shit and they're using the fear tactics. So we got so many people who are going along with this shit to get along because they're like, okay, why would they do this shit to us? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, their total motherfucking agenda is to entrap our souls. So if we really go back to the scriptures and to these sacred texts and shit like that, we're looking for catastrophic events to be taking place and shit like that, not knowing that this shit is actually happening now, not knowing because it got makeup on it. See, we living inside of an ugly bitch that got a lot of makeup on, so she look pretty. So if you keep them entertained, they won't know that you really trying to kill them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like they don't want to kill the people because when
No,
you kill the people, there's no people. Then what you
there's
gonna?
no people.
It's
No,
kill. It's kill. Fucking like you were talking earlier when I was just hopped on for a second and shit before I clicked on about somebody said it was, I think it was T, said, you know who should be locked up is Elon Musk, and I was like, no, you know who should be locked up? Me. I'm a fucking dissenter, my.
he
I'm a
said,
motherfucking anarchist, nigga. Look, look. I won't lock down after China. After you lock me up, then what you gonna do, nigga? You gonna lock me up again? You gonna send me to the hole? After you send me to the hole, then what you gonna do? Because eventually you're gonna have to kill me. But at the end all be all, nigga, I'm me. I'm gonna do me to the death and shit. I'd rather do me to the death than do not me all my life and shit, because that's worse than death. You know what I'm saying? So like, with the fucking like the Bible and shit, the scriptures and shit, bro. Like, it's funny how like a lot of times when we consider that shit, we act like that's critical thinking too. It's not critical thinking. This is a information being brought to us. You know what I'm saying? It's being submitted, put on the dinner table and shit. And like in our age now, there's never been a time, as far as here it goes. I'm about to bite my own bullet. There's never been a time in all of man's history where information has been so readily available. But then I was taught that too. The same information platform taught me that saying. And look, I'm in with this. I'm gonna close with this. Is that with all the abundance of information, it doesn't say like truth or lie. So the abundance of information that we're getting is all biased. It's all biased, bro. There's no truth in it, and that is the truth. That is truthfully biased and shit. And the
I
thing is,
agree.
bro, we don't want to hear truth. We want fucking some juicy, emotionally and convincing bias, because that shit is way more fun than the boring ass truth, which we all deep down inside, we know something's wrong. We got to go get up to work, or we're worried about a bill, and we're like fucking doing that sigh, like, man, I gotta pay another bill. I can't do this because I gotta pay another bill. We all know at the end of the day. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, man. I was just gonna say, man, I agree with you. That's why I like, and I appreciate, the shit that you bring to the bill, bro, because you're always on point. We talked about that earlier. We talked about people adding on to the bill and being able to stay on topic and shit like that. So I really appreciate that, you know, because what we're witnessing right now is a psyop. And a lot of people will say a psyop is fake, but the psyop not fake. The shit that's actually happening may be fake, but the psyop is real. So there's levels to this shit. We got to look at this shit from mind, body, and soul. So from the body, it may be fake, but from the mind, it's not fake, because guess what? Fake shit real now. We're in an augmented reality. We're in an alternate reality. This is what the CERN machine is for. We can sit up here and say they got a CERN machine and shit, but then we want to look at reality the way we live in it and say, oh, this is real reality, and we're not looking at that these people are manipulating the D stream, the natural D stream. We got people like us who actually have souls and shit. So to even be able to be on the level of consciousness that you on, that's what let me know you got a soul.
Bro, look,
Yeah.
I'm great. I was thinking about this like maybe an hour or two. Matter of fact, I was riding home on my bike from work and shit, man. I'm like, damn, I'm fucking grateful. Even though like it sucks, like arguing with my coworkers about shit that they really believe in, and I just don't pick a side. I don't believe in all that shit. So they know I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, but because I'm not a Republican, they want to just believe I'm a Democrat. Because I'm not a conservative, they just want to believe I'm a liberal. And I'm neither, bro. Like I said, if anything, I would be closest to an existentialist. They don't know what that means. Or I said an anarchist, and they don't know what that means. So they think it's, well, it must be it must be leftist. It must be a liberal and shit. You know, I must be. And their thing is, I must not care if men dress like women. And it's like, bro, I fucking don't, nigga. I don't give a fuck who's fucking who, as long as they ain't raping no kids, raping no women and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if motherfuckers die virgins. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't care who I'm fucking. That's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I remember thinking, I was like, man, I'm grateful, because if it wasn't for this shit, bro, I wouldn't have the opportunity to realize, nigga, that I am capable and qualified for independent thought. I've always felt like I have to buy into one of these ideologies, and I have. Buy into Pan-African, motherfucking, what's the other one? Indigenous, Aboriginal, Flat Earther, Globe Earther. And once I do, I just see a whole bunch of hypocrisy in every single one of them and shit. And the hypocrisy is like, you're not thinking, you're not thinking for yourself. Like, at niggas on and all the panels, all the channels, nigga be like, oh, what's there? Ask a question, and what nigga do? A nigga gonna Google the shit and then like drop the shit he just Googled out as if he just figured out for himself. Like, no, nigga, you asked Google. Google had the answer. You didn't, nigga. So no, you didn't know. And so go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just agreeing with you because a lot of people do that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be able to take the information that we get, because the information that we get, like, Google is not a source. Google is a search engine. So we have to take the shit that we get from Google and we have to do research with it. We can't take the information that we get from Google and present it like it's a fucking source. Google ain't a motherfucking source. Google is a search engine. So we need those who are able to do research, who are able to take the information from Google and to be able to, put the information forth after they've been able to take the information and break the information down and then represent the information in the way it's supposed to be represented. So I agree with you on the shit that you're saying, man. And then,
Yeah, bro, like, even, and it's like, and there's like an atmosphere, especially, well, it's not even just in these panels and shit, but like, I definitely encounter it when, what's truth, what's fact. And what happens is, in the mind of the individual, they've relinquished their ability to do constructive analyzing and use their analytical mind, or use logic, or use their own inner voice and shit, or even critical thinking, or even like just the idea of questioning. They just want a prepackaged source, because it takes a lot of work to do it on their own. We have Google, we have news media outlets and shit. It's easier to just repeat what we've heard and like really believe like the person we're saying this to like doesn't have a cell phone, like lives in the stone in the caveman times and sure the medieval times when there was like they didn't even invent writing yet and shit. You know what I'm saying? So the echo chambers, the confirmation bias sets in really quick, and like people think that using your own imagination and using your own logical mind is something wrong. There's something wrong with that, because I just want to be right. I don't want to fucking give any thought to it. I just want to be right. And so motherfuckers they'll sell out their selves, their own soul that has the ability to go anywhere and do anything and imagine and dream up and consider anything for a finite and fucking fixed Google response or media response or appealing to the herd. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they want it's the sin of the sin of what's the fucking not sincerity. I forget the word and shit, but like basically it's a sin to like even ask questions. You just want answers. You know what I'm saying? You just want to give answers and shit. The sin of certainty. They want to be certain. They don't want to fucking hypotheticalize. They don't want to like just wonder. Wondering is evil nowadays. It's fucking crazy, bro. We were kids at one time. Now we're fucking like now they are what they are.
That's why they say, you got to take yourself back to being a child again, because a child going to be innocent with his observance and a child going to be innocent with his response. So I gotta ask you, and I hate to have to get out of here, man, but I want to ask you one question, man, before we go. I want to ask you, um, you know, do you think that, um, you know, as far as like we talked about earlier, like they're taking the troops into these cities and all this shit, and they're using this based off the fear of the people who are in these physical situations, and they're trying to produce their metaphysical or their psychological agendas through what's going on with these people physical agendas. I think they doing alchemy, like we spoke about earlier. Like, when you're using certain technologies and shit, and these technologies are producing certain type of wave patterns and shit that's affecting the minds of the people, along with the physical oppressions that's put upon the people, that's keeping people in survival mode, along with the music and all this type of shit. Uh, do you think that somehow the people who are riding for the system will have a turn or a change of thought and not ride for the system so hard? Because that's the biggest enemy. I know you said that you don't vote either one. I don't vote either left or right wing. I'm for the people and I'm for myself. And from my take from what you said, I take that you for the people and you for yourself. And there's a lot of people who not even for themselves, bro. And they definitely not for the people. They are the minions of the powers that be. Do you think that there's some type of insight that we can give them to change them, or do you think that they will be our biggest enemy above all?
I mean, I'm gonna say this, bro. The motherfucking what's them niggas names? The motherfucking what's them niggas names? The Imperial on fucking Star Wars. They're the Imperial, right? The Imperial fucking whatever. There's the Rebels, the Rebel Alliance, and who's Darth Vader's pit niggas? What's them niggas called? The Imperials, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once the Imperials went to that nigga fucking uncle house and burned that bitch down, they fucked up. Cause now Luke Skywalker on the way. Once the niggas once the evil Queen Bad Morda on Willow tried to grab the baby, she fucked up. The baby got away. Willow's back, nigga. Once they fucking once they destroyed the mother, look, even on this new Fantastic Four, bro, Galactus should have stayed his ass at home. Because once that nigga, and it's like Hegelian dialectic, but the hero's journey, I kind of feel like, yes, I am for the people and I am for myself, but I also will allow the people to be what they are and shit. You know what I'm saying? The slave shall serve and I shall serve as well, because I'm a slave to just being me. They will be slaves to being them and they will follow their passions. So like when it's all said and done, it's kind of creating the atmosphere for a Neo of the Matrix, for a Luke Skywalker, for a person like me or a person like you and shit. You know what I'm saying? And on all these different demographic, grand scheme heroes journeys and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the crisis precipitates change, bro. And the only time the healing begins is after the fucking symptoms of the sickness is already set in.
But you're slavers though, because you just said a key fact. You're a slave, and that's the way to liberation. You gotta first know you a slave. These people don't know they slaves. They think like they're buddy with the system and shit. They don't know they slaves, bro.
Yeah, but Princess Leia ain't Luke Skywalker. She Princess Leia. So is motherfucking Han Solo, bro. Even though he got the dopest whip and shit, you know what I'm saying? Chewbacca cool. But like everybody's just when I mean a slave, like I have my purpose. Like that movie, Donnie Darko. Everybody has their purpose, their time signature, their soul, the soul purpose and shit. And for the masses, like they just may be the backdrop and backstory for that one that realizes it and decides like I can't be like Jesus couldn't be motherfucking Joseph. He had to be Jesus. Everybody plays their part and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the stage is being set. So at the end of the day, bro, like this is interesting, nigga. Life is weird. Life is interesting because I don't want to spend my life like worried about the next fucking Twin Towers fucked me up. That shit was horrible watching that shit. I remember the psychological effect of that shit for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But like in the pandemic, that was kind of scary too. But it's like, bro, there's always gonna be some scary shit, some to be continued and shit. And I love watching a Netflix series that's like got me binge watching, but niggas ain't trying to binge watch life.
Right. Right, man. Damn. Look, we've been on, man, like almost 4 hours. I hate to have to get out of here, but we will be back. And then I gotta email you too, because that show that we did, I do want to do a part 2 to that. So I'm finna send you an email. Give me like 15, 20 minutes, and I'm finna send it to you.
All right, for sure, G. Hey, be easy. Keep doing your strings what you're doing. You're killing it and shit, bro. And I'll holler at you later, dog.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Salute, peace and power. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring up the big dog Philly OG. We gonna close out with the big dog Philly OG. Salute to the big dog Philly OG. My brother, my comrade. I got number love for the big dog Philly OG, man. This been my number one brother, man. Is on my YouTube journey, man. Salutes to the OG Philly. OG, I'm gonna let you close out, man, and so you can say, whatever you done collected over this time. I know you out and about right now, but if you got a minute, feel free to interject. Salute, good brother. Okay, the OG said give him 1 minute. Salutes to Von Hall. Salutes. I appreciate your continued support. My sister Von Hall, salute. My brother T Cortez, salute. Know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Mental Ninja. Shout out to my brother Nino. It's my brother Nino. I appreciate you. My brother T Wriggles. My brother The Enemy's Public. My brother Nasir, my big bro, salutes. DJ Jaguar, salutes. Man, I want to give a shout out to everybody. Ken Kid, salute Ken Kid. Salute, welcome to the channel, man. I'm not sure if you this your first time on the channel, but hey man, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man, because we gonna keep good content coming. I got some new shit going on. We about to put together a couple of content houses. We gonna be cammed up every time, and we just passing through right now to get through to where we going. Salute, executive sessions. Salute, executive sessions. Is always good to see you in the building, brother. Salute. Earth to Wiz, E Goddess, NRG. Salute. I done seen you several times. I'm not sure why you not modded up, but we'll take care of that. Rob, I'm not sure which Rob this is, but salutes, Rob. Much love and respect. My brother T Wriggles again, salute. My brother Big Dog Philly OG.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Keith, you already know, man. Flat motherfucking power to the Flat Power family, man. Hopefully everybody having a good weekend. Excellent information, brother, you put out. Very on point. These people have an agenda, and digital ID is just another agenda that they're pushing. And Trump is bringing it in just like he brought in the pandemic. You know what I mean? So you're on point, brother. I appreciate you letting me come up and support the program, touch base. So much love to you and the family, Everybody have a good night. Be safe, man. Power to the motherfucking people. Flat motherfucking power, man.
Yes, sir. Flat motherfucking power. Peace and power to my brother OG. Hey, man, make sure y'all sub up. We saw my brother T Wriggles on the panel. We saw my brother The Enemy's Public on the panel. Me and my brother Nino, we gonna put together a channel. So y'all get ready for that. The Mental Ninja, if y'all see him out there, man, make sure y'all sub up. You know, I'm in support of everybody. Everybody, you know, we all black folks just chilling. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to be able to deal with each other better so that we can have a better situation. Salutes to everybody. I want to give a huge shout out to my brother Marty for supporting the stream. He sent a cash app in. I appreciate you, man. That definitely made me feel appreciated for my time. Salutes to everybody. I'm definitely going to be doing more research. I'm going to be back tomorrow. I got a 70 sit down with Key tomorrow. We're going to be back tomorrow. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we got some more people. It was a lot of people in the building. I appreciate all of y'all support. Everybody who was in the chat. The chat is that energy. I appreciate everybody who came on the panel to support. Much love and respect. And we're going to do a part 2 to this because I think it was a broad topic that we can talk about a lot of things. I want to make sure the information is valuable. Shout out to everybody. Much love and respect. Hey, man. Peace and power to everybody. And much love, man. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Salute, peace, and motherfucking power. Salute.